हेलो, ठीक है। ओके, एक्चुअली हमारा जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है वो ऐसे नेटवर्क में चला गया है, इज नॉट रीचेबल टुडे ड्यू टू दिवाली, धर्मवीर सिंह इज एब्सेंट। और तो हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं। और मैं आईटी एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, तो एनीवे हम लोग शुरू करते हैं। और एक अभी आई हैव सीन और लिसन उमेश पूर्वे एंड एचआर मिस्टर चौधरी स्पोकन वेरी वेल फॉर मी, सो थैंक यू ऑल। आपने बहुत अच्छा बोला मेरे लिए दिवाली पे, धन्यवाद आप लोगों का। मैं इसे बड़ा सिंपल रखूंगा आज के ट्रेनिंग को, क्योंकि जो हमारी ट्रेनिंग की हेड है वो डॉक्टर तनुश्री वर्मा, उन्होंने ये बताया है कि ये ट्रेनिंग जो है वो लेवल 4 का है। बेसिक्स ऑफ डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट शुरू होगा, डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लानिंग के लिए। और मुझे ये भी बताया गया है कि इसमें काफी लोग जो है वो जो ट्रेनी है जो ज्वाइन किया है वो बेसिक लेवल के लोग हैं जो एक्चुअली ग्राउंड पे काम करते हैं, जो रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं इन केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी। और ऑडियंस में आपको बता दूं, अवधेश जी आज के ऑब्जर्वर हैं, इंजीनियर अवधेश कुमार यूनिवर्सिटी में असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर है सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में। और इसलिए हम लोग का ऐसा एक प्रोसेस है कि जब भी हम ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं तो थर्ड पार्टी लाते, जैसे हम लोग ट्रेनर हो गए, आप लोग ट्रेनी हो गए, तो एक थर्ड पार्टी, तीसरा पार्टी कोई हो जो इसे एज ए ऑब्जर्व करे कि ट्रेनिंग ठीक से हुआ कि नहीं हुआ। तो ये आज थर्ड पार्टी ऑब्जर्वर है। धन्यवाद आपका अवधेश जी। पूर्वे साहब थैंक यू, आपने लोगों को चांस दिया है अपने लोगों के साथ बात करने के लिए। सो विदाउट डिले आई एम स्टार्टिंग द सेशन, राइट? I think Mahadhyati will take care to admitting all the joinees who is coming late. So please take care. Now I am starting the presentation.
Yes, sir.
So this is first slide you people see. I am this is nothing. आज हम लोग डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान पे बात करने के लिए इकट्ठा हुए हैं। आप लोग, मैंने देखा है आप लोग का रिपोर्ट और ट्रेनिंग का जो शेड्यूल वगैरह है, दैट इज फैंटास्टिक। आप लोग सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी पे बहुत बढ़िया काम कर रहे हैं। जो मुझे ट्रेनिंग का वो शीट दिखा है, मैं उन लोगों को, जो लोग भी ट्रेनिंग और सेफ्टी और सिक्योरिटी पे आपके इंडस्ट्री में जो लोग भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं, अकाउंटेबल हैं, उन सबको मैं सलाम करता हूं कि आप लोगों ने इतना बढ़िया ग्राउंड वर्क हमारे लिए करके रखा था। आपने बिल्कुल प्लेटफॉर्म सेट करके रखा है, इसीलिए हम लोग लेवल 4 पे स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं, राइट? सो कंटेक्स्ट सेटिंग के लिए, अदरवाइज मिस्टर पूर्वे हैज स्पोकन वेरी वेल। कंटेक्स्ट सेटिंग के लिए आप देखिए, अच्छा बाकी लोग अगर अपना माइक स्विच ऑफ कर, माइक जो है वो म्यूट कर दे, इट विल बी फैंटास्टिक एंड आई विल टेक हार्डली 20 मिनट, 20-25 मिनट। और मैं आप सबको अश्योर करता हूं कि इसके बाद डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान कैसा होना चाहिए और कैसे बनेगा, इस पे बढ़िया बात आप कर सकेंगे। बस आप 20-25 मिनट मुझे सुने प्लीज। तो ये कुछ रिसेंट नॉन डिसास्टर्स हैं, इंडस्ट्रियल डिसास्टर, जो कि आप लोग सब जानते हैं, क्योंकि मैंने देखा है आपके रेफरेंसेज में सारे डिसास्टर्स जो हैं वो मेंशन्ड है, इसलिए मैंने यही डिसास्टर्स के नाम आपको हमने शो किया है। एलजी पॉलीमर विशाखापट्टनम में एक कंपनी है जहां पे जस्ट रीओपनिंग पे ये गैस लीक हो गया था और 11 लोगों का डेथ हो गया था उसमें। मोर देन 1000 पीपल जो थे वो इल हो गए थे, 350 उसमें सीरियस इंजर्ड हुए थे। हम इसके पोस्टमार्टम में नहीं जाते हैं, ज्यादा टेक्निकल नहीं बनाते हैं कि कौन सा गैस लीक हुआ था और कैसे लीक हुआ था, बिकॉज यू आर डूइंग वेरी वेल इन सेफ्टी। सेकेंड डिसास्टर इज दिल्ली के अनाज मंडी में एक फैक्ट्री था जिसमें फायर हो गया और 43 लोग उसमें डेथ हो गया। इशू ये था कि ठीक से इवैक्यूएशन नहीं हो पाया। ये मैं देखिए जो पॉइंट बोलता हूँ इसको आपको डेलिब्रेट करेगी। इशू क्या था, इवैक्यूएशन नहीं हो पाया, ठीक है। थर्ड जो करना चाहता हूँ शेयर, एनटीपीसी पावर प्लांट एक्सप्लोजन जिसमें 40 लोगों का डेथ हो गया था। और एक में और यहाँ पे जो शिव काशी का फायर क्रैकर डिसास्टर हुआ था, इसमें 40 लोग डेथ हो गए। ये इसलिए मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि तमिलनाडु में है। इंडियन ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन जो जयपुर में डिसास्टर हुआ था, 12 लोगों की डेथ हो गई थी। एवरीवन नो शक्ति पेपर मिल गैस लीक ये छत्तीसगढ़ में हुआ, ये भी रीओपनिंग के बाद ही हुआ है। तो पॉइंट ये था कि हम लोग क्यों अभी कह रहे थे मिस्टर चौधरी कि हम लोग क्यों डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान पे बात करना चाह रहे हैं, वो ये है कि फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ डिसास्टर जो है वो बढ़ गया है। क्यों बढ़ा है, उसके कई रीजन है, इंक्लूडिंग क्लाइमेट चेंज और इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट। जितना ज्यादा डेवलपमेंट होएगा ऑब्वियस सी बात है वल्नरेबिलिटी जो है वो बढ़ती जाएगी। क्यों बढ़ते जा रही है, क्योंकि ये डेवलपमेंट सस्टेनेबल नहीं है। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। जो डेवलपमेंट हम लोग कर रहे हैं अगर सस्टेनेबल नहीं होगा तो डिसास्टर होएगा, राइट। अब मैं यहां पे केवल एक चीज और हाईलाइट करना चाहता हूं। आप देखो इसमें लिखा हुआ है विच वन इज अ नेचुरल डिसास्टर। ये जो हमने अभी 6 डिसास्टर बोले, इसमें से कौन सा नेचुरल डिसास्टर है? तो मैं आपको बताऊं इसमें कोई भी नेचुरल डिसास्टर नहीं है, इंक्लूडिंग दिल्ली फैक्टर, जो दिल्ली का अनाज मंडी वाला मैंने बताया, सेकेंड वाला फैक्ट्री फायर वाला, ये भी नेचुरल नहीं है। तो होता क्या है, देखिए हजार्ड नेचुरल होते हैं। हजार्ड्स जो है वो नेचुरल होते हैं या अननेचुरल मैन मेड होते हैं। हमारी गलती से अगर कोई डिसास्टर होता है तो मैन मेड है। और नेचर के जो हजार्ड्स है, वाटर, अर्थक्वेक, सेस्मिसिटी, तो उसके वजह से जो डिसास्टर आता है उसको हम लोग नेचुरल डिसास्टर कहते हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ इंडस्ट्री में जो डिसास्टर्स होते हैं वो नेचुरल नहीं होते। पहला बात, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हम उसे आसानी से रोक सकते थे। पॉइंट इज हम उसे आसानी से रोक सकते थे, तो रुके क्यों नहीं? इस क्वेश्चन का जवाब अभी हम लोग और आगे डिस्कस करते हैं कि क्यों नहीं रुके और क्यों हो गए ये। एक बड़ा ही फेमस से है, इफ यू फेल इन प्लान यू आर प्लानिंग टू फेल। अगर आप प्लान नहीं कर पाते बढ़िया से, स्ट्रेटजी अच्छी नहीं बनी, आपका डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान अगर अच्छा नहीं बना, तो कभी भी ऑपरेशनलाइज नहीं होगा। और ऑपरेशनलाइज नहीं होगा तो इसका मतलब यह हुआ कि कभी भी मिटिगेशन वर्क आपका नहीं हो पाएगा सही से, कभी भी प्रिवेंशन वर्क नहीं हो पाएगा आपका जो डिसास्टर के पहले होना चाहिए, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग आपकी सही से नहीं हो पाएगी, और डिसास्टर के बाद वाला पार्ट रिस्पॉन्स सही से नहीं हो पाएगा आपका, रिलीफ नहीं हो पाएगा आपका। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। इसलिए हम लोगों को यह ध्यान देना कि हम लोग को जो प्लानिंग पार्ट है उस पर ज्यादा काम करना चाहिए। आप लोग सेफ्टी में जरूर करते हैं, ऐसे ही डिसास्टर में भी हम लोगों को करना है। ये और कंटेक्स्ट को थोड़ा सा वो करने के लिए कि देखिए एक डेटा जो है ये के हिसाब से 1861 मेजर एक्सीडेंट हजार्ड्स यूनिट है इंडिया में। 1861 मेजर एक्सीडेंट हजार्ड, मतलब वैसा हजार्ड जिसकी की प्रायोरिटी हाई है एक्सीडेंट क्रिएट करने के लिए, जैसे ऑयल में जो डील करता है, गैस में जो डील करता है, स्प्रिट में जो डील करता है, यू गॉट माय पॉइंट, केमिकल में जो डील करता है, एक्सप्लोसिव में जो डील करता है। अच्छा, अब अगर इसके कोऑर्डिनेट्स आप देखेंगे पूरे इंडिया में, ये कोई 301 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में फैले हुए हैं, 301 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में। अब आप देखिए पूरे भारत में केवल 740 डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आधे भारत में ये फैले हुए हैं। इसके बाद बहुत सारी यूनिट्स, फैक्ट्री जो है वो क्या है, अनरजिस्टर्ड है, वो रजिस्टर्ड है ही नहीं। अब जो रजिस्टर्ड नहीं है तो उनका कोई रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं है, तो ये क्या कर रहे हैं, हमारी वल्नरेबिलिटी को बढ़ा रहे हैं। इसलिए हम लोगों को डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट पे काम करना पड़ रहा है। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। अगर हम अपने आप से करते तो 2005 से पहले से ही कर रहे होते। हम लोग अपने आप से नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम पुश और पुल दोनों चल रहा है। जैसे आपकी इंडस्ट्री के लोगों ने, चौधरी साहब ने, पूर्वे साहब ने ये इनिशिएटिव लिया कि नहीं हमें डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट पे काम करना है, ये पुश भी है और पुल भी है। क्यों? क्योंकि फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ डिजास्टर जो है और डिवास्टेशन जो है वो बहुत बढ़ गया है। एक और छोटा सा डेटा आप देखें यहाँ पे, ये डेटा जो है लॉस 2019 का है और ये 20 का है। तो बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए हुए मैं ये दिखाना चाहता हूँ, देखिए बढ़ रहा है। ये 860 इंसिडेंट्स था, नंबर ऑफ इंसिडेंट 2019 में, ये 980 है, मतलब बढ़ रहा है। ओबियसली 2021 में ये और बढ़ेगा। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। अच्छा, अब यहाँ पे इशू ये आता है कि इंसिडेंट मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूं, इसे मैं इवेंट क्यों नहीं बोलता। इसे मैं इंसिडेंट बोल रहा हूं, इसे मैं इवेंट क्यों नहीं बोलता। सी, इंसिडेंट जो होता है वो अनप्लान्ड इवेंट होता है। इवेंट जो होता है अनप्लान्ड होता है, फायर इज ए इंसिडेंट। लेकिन इवेंट जो होता है उसका डेट फिक्स होता है, माई बर्थडे इज ए इवेंट। गॉट माई पॉइंट। तो इसलिए आपने देखा होगा कि इवेंट मैनेजमेंट की कंपनियां होती है, राइट, लेकिन इंसिडेंट में सब ऊहापोह मच जाता है, भाग दौड़ मच जाता है, सारा जो डिसबैलेंस हो जाता है। इवन गवर्नमेंट कई बार डिसास्टर्स को मैनेज करने में लगभग फेल हो जाती है, अभी हम लोगों ने कोरोना में देखा है। गॉट माय पॉइंट। तो मैं केवल एक कंटेक्स्ट सेट कर रहा था और अब मैं समझता हूं कि अब हम लोगों को शुरू होना चाहिए। अच्छा, अब आप कहेंगे कि सर अगर इतना रिस्क है हम लोगों के पास तो हमें कोई लीगल ऑब्लिगेशन भी दिया गया होगा कि कैसे इसको कम किया जाए, कैसे हम लोग इंडस्ट्री में जो रिस्क है उसको मैनेज करने के लिए काम किया जाए। ये किन्हीं का माइक बंद चालू है, कृपया आप बंद कर लें, नहीं तो हम लोग सबको म्यूट कर देंगे तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, आप लोग सब सीनियर एजेड लोग हैं। तो ये रिलीवेंट प्रोविजन है। देखिए 1884 में सबसे पहले एक्सप्लोसिव एक्ट आया था, ये टाइम लाइन लगा हुआ है, इसको आप लोग केवल एक बार देख ले। सबसे पहले एक्सप्लोसिव एक्ट आया था 1884 में, उसके बाद 1934 में पेट्रोलियम एक्ट आया था, उसके बाद 1948 में फैक्ट्री एक्ट आया था जिसपे आप लोग सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी वाले सब लोग काम करते हैं। उसके बाद 1968 में इंसेक्टिसाइड एक्ट आया था, और इस 86 से पहले 85 में भोपाल हो गया था, 84 में। इसके बाद 1986 में इन्वायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट आया था। 1988 में मोटर व्हीकल एक्ट आया, वो इसलिए आया था कि जब हम लोग इंडस्ट्री में काम करते हैं तो हमें कुछ जो गुड्स है फिनिश्ड और रॉ उसको ट्रांसपोर्ट करना पड़ता है। इवन हम लोग हजार्डस मटेरियल भी ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं, आप लोग बहुत बढ़िया जानते हो, मैंने देखा है आपके ट्रेनिंग में, जो आपका ट्रेनिंग शेड्यूल है उसमें, तो इसे मैं केवल मेंशन करना चाह रहा हूं। इसके बाद पब्लिक लायबिलिटी इंश्योरेंस एक्ट 1991 में आया था, और आज जिसका हम लोग बात करेंगे वो 2005 में डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट आया था, भुज अर्थक्वेक के बाद। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। भुज अर्थक्वेक में बहुत ज्यादा डिवास्टेशन हो गया था, उससे निपटने के लिए गवर्नमेंट को ने और पूरी कंट्री ने ऐसा डिसाइड किया कि नहीं, हम लोगों को अब इमरजेंसी मैनेजमेंट पे, सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी पे काम करने के साथ साथ ही डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट का एक फ्रेमवर्क खड़ा करना चाहिए। इसलिए डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट लाया गया और ये बहुत सारे रूल्स हैं जिसको मैं ऐसे ही स्किप कर देता हूं कि ये सारे आपने देखा है कि आपके उस प्लान में मेंशन्ड है। तो अभी होता क्या है जब एक डिसास्टर होता है, तो जब एक डिसास्टर होता है, इवन छोटा मोटा भी इंसिडेंट होता है, तो क्या होता है ये देखिए, ये होता है डिले इन असेसमेंट ऑफ सिचुएशन एंड इंफॉर्मेशन डिसेमिनेशन। ये सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। क्यों ऐसा होता है? क्योंकि कम्युनिकेशन ब्रेक डाउन हो जाता है। फायर होता है तो भी यही होता है, आपको आ गया तो फिर तो भगवान ही मालिक है, क्योंकि जो मोबाइल के टावर होंगे या टेलीफोन के वायर है वो कोलैप्स कर जाते हैं। लैक ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन लीडिंग टू अनसर्टेनिटी, आपस में कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होता है। क्यों नहीं होता है कोऑर्डिनेशन? क्योंकि पहले से करके नहीं रखा, डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान नहीं था, तो कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होता है। ठीक है। डिले इन मोबिलाइजेशन ऑफ मेन मटेरियल रिलीफ, क्यों? ऑब्वियस सी बात है, प्लान नहीं किया आपने, प्लान नहीं करेंगे तो ये कॉज होगा। फिर बात तब हमें समझ में आता है, अच्छा अब हमें आपको अपने आप हमारी कैपेसिटी बढ़ानी है ना। तो ये ऐसे ही हुआ जैसे कि अभी पूर्वे साहब कह रहे थे, आग लग जाने के बाद हम कुआं खोदते हैं। तो इसीलिए हम लोगों ने, मतलब अब हम आपके हिस्से हैं, क्योंकि अब हम आपके पार्टनर है डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनिंग के, ये डिसाइड किया आपके इंडस्ट्री वालों ने कि नहीं, हम डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट का जो है वो एक ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं और अपना डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान को ट्रांसलेट करते हैं, इंप्लीमेंट करते हैं ऑन ग्राउंड। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट? तो ये केवल बेसिक समझ के लिए है कि नेशनल डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट फ्रेमवर्क कैसे काम करता है। सी, नेशनल डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट फ्रेमवर्क कैसे काम करता है कि सबसे नीचे लेवल पे, जो नीचे वाला लेवल है, उस पे तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी काम करता है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी। और आपकी सारी फैक्ट्रियां किसी न किसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में है, और उस डीडीएमए का, डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी का जो चेयरमैन होता है वो डीएम साहब खुद ही होते हैं। ठीक है। अब देखिए कि अगर वो चेयरमैन है तो डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट में उनको अकाउंटेबल बनाया गया है, उनकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी है पूरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट की। जनरली करते कैसे हैं काम, जो डीएम साहब होते हैं वो अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो किसी को डेलीगेट कर देते हैं, किसी एडीएम को और किसी एसडीएम को, लेकिन अकाउंटेबिलिटी उन्हीं की रहती। कल अगर कुछ हो जाएगा तो कोर्ट उन्हीं से पूछेगा। गॉट माय पॉइंट? सिमिलरली स्टेट लेवल पे स्टेट डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी होता है, जिसके चेयरमैन सीएम खुद ही होते हैं, मुख्यमंत्री, राइट। जो यूनियन टेरेटरी है वहां पे लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर होते हैं। जो टॉप लेवल पे है वो है नेशनल डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी, और इसके चेयरमैन प्रधानमंत्री खुद है। तो ये केवल मैं आपको इसलिए बताया कि डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट की अगर बात हो तो आपको ये बात पता होना चाहिए कि हम लोग किसकी बात कर रहे हैं। अब हम लोग इस पे आते हैं कि जब डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान बनता है तो कैसे बनता है, और मैं इसे ऐसे बताता हूं कि हमारी टीम जो डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान बनाती है तो कैसे बनाती है, या आप जब कुछ करेंगे या कोई और डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान बनाएगा तो कैसे बनाएगा। ये हमारी जो है वो इस सेशन का लास्ट स्लाइड है, इसे आप ध्यान से सुनिए। एक टीम फॉर्म की जाती है हमारी, जो ऑलरेडी से प्री डिसाइडेड है, जिसमें एक फायर इंजीनियर, एक स्ट्रक्चरल इंजीनियर, यू गॉट माय पॉइंट, एक आर्किटेक्ट, ठीक है ना, एक डिसास्टर मैनेजर, एक फ्लड एक्सपर्ट, एक मॉडलिंग वाला, एक मैपिंग वाला, एक टीम बनी हुई है जो पहले जा करके इंडस्ट्री का रैपिड विजुअल असेसमेंट करते हैं। ठीक है यहां तक। अब रैपिड विजुअल असेसमेंट में करते क्या है? रैपिड विजुअल असेसमेंट इन एंड अराउंड, अंदर और बाहर भी करते हैं, आसपास में। बोलो जी बाहर क्यों करते हैं आप? देखिए, अगर अंदर सब कुछ ठीक भी है और अगर आसपास में बहुत ज्यादा रिस्क है तो आपको स्टेबल कभी भी नहीं होने देगा। तो हमें उस रिस्क के बारे में भी ज्ञान होना चाहिए। गॉट माय पॉइंट? उदाहरण देख लीजिए आप शुरू से, जो भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी है, मदर ऑफ द ऑल इंडस्ट्रियल डिसास्टर, जितने अंदर लोग मरे उससे 1000 गुना बाहर लोगों की डेथ हुई। गोट माय पॉइंट। आप किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में देखिए, इसमें गैस लीक वगैरह हुआ है। कहने का मतलब ये हुआ कि इंडस्ट्री के आसपास की जो पॉपुलेशन है वो भी अफेक्ट होती है, इसलिए कितना रिस्क है वो इन एंड अराउंड हमें समझने की जरूरत है। दूसरा, जब हम इसका रैपिड विजुअल असेसमेंट कर लेते हैं तो हमारा एक सेट फॉर्मूला है, उसमें वो सारा कुछ ला करके भरा जाता है, जिससे ये पता चलता है कि कितना रिस्क है। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। हमें हजार्ड से रिस्क पता लग गया कि आपके इंडस्ट्री में कितना रिस्क है। उदाहरण के लिए समझिए कि जैसे मैं और मिस्टर पूर्वे दोनों ही बीमार है ना, मुझे फीवर 98 डिग्री है और मिस्टर पूर्वे को 104 है, तो हम दोनों का काम पैरासीटामोल से नहीं चलेगा, है ना। 104 के लिए कॉम्बिनेशन खिलाना पड़ेगा। सिमिलरली इसीलिए हम लोग रिस्क कैलकुलेट करते हैं। कोई भी डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान बनाने से पहले रिस्क निकाला जाता है, क्वांटिफाई किया जाता है कि कितना रिस्क है। जितना रिस्क होएगा उसी के हिसाब से हम लोग उसका मिटिगेशन मेजर्स बनाएंगे। जैसे जितना आपको फीवर है उसी के हिसाब से मेडिसिन देते हैं, बस सिंपल वैसे ही समझे। जितना रिस्क होगा उसके हिसाब से हम लोग मिटिगेशन मेजर्स डेवलप कर देंगे आपके इंडस्ट्री में, या कर देते हैं हम, ठीक है। अब जो मिटिगेशन मेजर्स है उसको चलाने के लिए, उसको देखने के लिए, उसको इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए क्या करना होता है, टीम एंड टास्क फोर्स बनाते हैं। आई एम श्योर कि आप टीम एंड टास्क फोर्स समझते होंगे। टीम जो होता है वो सेम टाइप ऑफ रिसोर्सेज होता है, टास्क फोर्स जो होता है वो डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ रिसोर्सेज होता है। तो ये डिपेंड करता है हमें कि कितनी टीम और टास्क फोर्स, ये रिस्क के हिसाब से पता चलेगा कि कितना है, उसी के हिसाब से ये बनेगा। ऐसा कोई स्टैंडर्ड मॉडल नहीं है कि नहीं हम तो इतना ही बनाएंगे। मोस्ट ऑफ लोग क्या करते हैं, जब डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान बनाते हैं, कोई भी एक प्लान लिया और उसमें अपना इंडस्ट्री का नाम बदल करके और टीम, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। दो लोग हैं, आप और मैं, तो दो बॉडी है, हम दोनों की बीमारियां भी अलग है, तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है दवाई भी अलग होगी। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट, वेरी गुड। जब टीम एंड टास्क फोर्स बन जाता है तो देखिए, अब उदाहरण के लिए समझिए कि जब कोई इमरजेंसी आता है ना, तो उस समय जो आपके वाइस प्रेसिडेंट हैं, ऑपरेशन हेड हैं, वो आपको नहीं बता रहे होंगे कि वर्मा जी आप ये करिए, चौधरी जी आप ये करिए, शर्मा जी आप ये करिए, ऐसा नहीं कर पाएंगे। उसके लिए पहले से क्या किया जाता है, हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि पूरे टीम का और अलग जो टास्क फोर्स बनाया उसका स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर बना देते हैं। गॉट माय पॉइंट कि नहीं, आपको तो यही करना है उस समय। अब स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर हम लोगों ने बना दिया तो सबको पता लग गया कि चौधरी उस समय ये करेंगे, इस लेवल पे ये करना है, इस लेवल पे ये करना है, इस लेवल पे ये करना है। इसके बाद हम लोग जो पूरा आपका जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, जो इंडस्ट्री है, चाहे ऑफिस है, चाहे वर्क स्टेशन है, चाहे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, जो कुछ भी है, पूरे का हम लोग जितने भी एग्जिट है उसके हिसाब से हम लोग सेल्फ ग्लो इवैक्यूएशन मैप बनाते हैं। मैं आपको बताता हूं, आप लोगों ने भी इवैक्यूएशन मैप जरूर बनाया होगा, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है। लेकिन देखिए होता यह है कि मैंने आपको दिखाया इतने सारे एक्ट है, इतने सारे पॉलिसी है, लेकिन हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम लोग उसे सही से इंटरप्रेट ही नहीं कर पाते, और अगर हम इंटरप्रेट कर भी देते हैं तो उसे हम सही से इंप्लीमेंट नहीं करते। एग्जाम्पल आपको इसी इवैक्यूएशन मैप में मिल जाएगा। मैं मोस्ट ऑफ इंडस्ट्री में, मोस्ट ऑफ स्कूल में, कॉलेज में, मॉल में देखा, वो इवैक्यूएशन मैप तो लगाए रहते हैं। वो क्या करते हैं, एक बढ़िया सीट पे, व्हाइट सीट पे मैप बना करके बढ़िया एक बोर्ड पे उसको लगा देते हैं। लेकिन इसका इंटेंशन ये है कि जब आपके इंडस्ट्री में धुआं भर जाएगा आग लगने के बाद, तब ये मैप केवल काम आएगा। उस पर्पस के लिए मैप लगाया जाता है, क्योंकि ये सेल्फ ग्लो है, धुआं में भी ये रास्ता आपको दिखाएगा, ये चमकता है धुआं में भी। यू गॉट माय पॉइंट। लेकिन आप मोस्ट ऑफ जगह पे देखेंगे कि वो कागज का लगा लेते हैं, वो सेल्फ ग्लो नहीं होता है, तो पर्पस ही फेल हो गया लगाने का। इससे बढ़िया था कि नहीं लगाते। क्यों? क्योंकि पीस टाइम में तो ऐसे भी रास्ता दिख जाता है ना। और नहीं तो चलिए ठीक है, मैं गलत गया तो फिर वापस मुड़ के आ जाऊंगा, क्योंकि इतना रिस्क तो है नहीं, वह सेकेंडों का हिसाब तो है नहीं। सेकेंडों का हिसाब कब होगा, जब धुआं भरा हुआ होगा उसमें या केमिकल लीकेज होगा उसमें, उस समय इसका सेकेंडों का हिसाब होगा। मोस्ट ऑफ केस, क्योंकि आप लोग काफी लोग सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी वाले हैं, आपने देखा होगा कि इवन उसी इंडस्ट्री में 15 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जब आग लगा तो आप निकल नहीं पाते हैं। क्यों नहीं निकल पाते, आप तो 15 साल से उसी में आ जा रहे हैं, है ना, तो आपको तो रास्ता पता होगा। तो एग्जिट क्लियर नहीं रहता, या वे जो है वो सेल्फ ग्लो इवैक्यूएशन मैप नहीं होता, और स्मोक जो है वो 42-43 सेकंड आपको टाइम देता है, और अगर आपको ज्ञान नहीं है तो आप फर्श पे जाएंगे नहीं, रेंग के चलेंगे नहीं, और आप निकल नहीं पाएंगे, वहीं कोलैप्स कर जाएंगे।
मिस्टर तरुण, जस्ट
इसके बाद हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि आपके फैक्ट्री से,
मिस्टर तरुण, जस्ट आई एम इंटरप्टिंग फॉर फ्यू मोमेंट्स। हेलो,
क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
Mr. Tarun, I'm Umesh Purve. Just I'm interrupting for a few minutes because a lot
yes,
of
yes, दो ब्लॉक और है, जस्ट दो ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं, मुझे एक्सप्लेन करने दीजिए, दो ब्लॉक और है।
We are having 127 participants and few participants are from South India who are not going to understand the language in English. So just go for the
okay. I am especially told people are from the very basic, so you have to keep your language Hindi. That's why I'm speaking only Hindi.
No issue, no, but there are a lot of guys who are associating with us from South India plant, like Padanur plant. So hopefully they are also in this session. So it would be better to go ahead some mixed language.
Mixed, yes, sir.
Okay. So see. So next block is mapping of shortest route of emergency support function. What we do, we create shortest route from your factory to emergency support functionaries in every district. In Disaster Management Act, emergency support functionaries already have been identified. ये पहले से ही आइडेंटिफाई किया हुआ है। What we do, हम क्या करते हैं, हम उनका शॉर्टेस्ट रूट मार्क कर देते हैं। मींस कि पहले से ही एज ए इंडस्ट्री यू डिसाइडेड कि हमें तो यही करना है। क्या करना है, लेट्स से इन केस ऑफ एक्सीडेंट, तो हमें अपने पेशेंट को इस हॉस्पिटल पे ले जाना है। इन केस ऑफ सी, अगर पहले से मार्क नहीं होगा, लेट्स से यू टेकन योर पेशेंट, burn patient to the nearest hospital, they don't have burn ward, so your whole effort gone waste. You got my point? तो ये पहले से ही मार्क किया हुआ होता है, राइट? इसके बाद what we do, let's say कि we decided Mr. Purve will act as a fire responder and he will douse fire, right? Or Mr. Chaudhary will start search and rescue. But how they will do? For that, they require training. So whole team and task force trained how, as per the standard operating procedure, to execute their role, whatever their role and responsibility fixed in the standard operating procedure. Same training is given there. You got my point? हम उन्हें उसी हिसाब से ट्रेंड कर देते हैं to execute their role and responsibility. Thereafter, एक टेबल टॉप एक्सरसाइज होता है. We do a टेबल टॉप एक्सरसाइज, और आपके लोगों के थ्रू विद द हेल्प ऑफ योर ट्रेंड टीम, जो टीम यहां तैयार हुई ट्रेंड हो करके, थ्रू दिस टीम we conduct a mock drill, right? Conducting a mock drill with the help of fire department or NDRF is useless, because whenever an accident will happen in your industry, a disaster will strike at your site, they will be at very far side, and average responding time of NDRF is near about to at least 8 hours. So try to understand, your people will only help. So what we do, we make them able to respond or evacuate. Tanushree will talk in detail because mock drill is also a technical activity. ये कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि बस रिंग बजाया और सब लोग बाहर आके खड़े हो गए, ऐसा नहीं है. So last step is submission of disaster management plan. You supposed to submit your industry disaster management plan to your respective district disaster management authority. Right? Idea is कि जब कभी भी कुछ होगा तो जो आपका जो प्लान है, जो आपके फैक्ट्री में रखा हुआ है, which is lying in your office, वो क्या होगा, वो लोगों के लिए inaccessible होगा, and there are 50% चांस कि या तो वो रबल में दबा हुआ होगा, फायर में बर्न हो गया होगा, तो ये किसी के यूज में नहीं आएगा. सो नियरेस्ट रिस्पॉन्डिंग एजेंसी इज डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी. वो जब लेकर के आएगा, दे विल एबल टू फाइंड बिकॉज एवरीथिंग मेंशन्ड इन द डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान. यू गॉट माय पॉइंट? इसलिए इसे हम लोग डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी में सबमिट कराते हैं. ये पूरा प्रोसेस है डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान को बनाने के लिए. ठीक है, तो अभी इस सेशन में हम लोग इतना ही करते हैं. इसे फिर जो हम लोग नेक्स्ट सेशन करेंगे तो उसमें हम लोग इसे कैसे ग्राउंड पे लाते हैं, कैसे इसे यूज करते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्स सिस्टम. तो हम लोग आगे करेंगे हमारे तरफ से. सो आई एम कंक्लूडिंग दिस सेशन. thereafter so thank you everybody. मैं यहाँ पे इसे खत्म करता हूँ. अब मिस्टर पूर्वे, अभी हम लोग इसके बाद तनुश्री अपना सेशन लेंगी और लास्ट में हम लोग क्वेश्चन आंसर लेंगे. इज इट ओके?
Okay, but I would like to request once more, because there are a lot of participants from South India plant who is unable to understand the Hindi. Most of the people are from South India also, they are able to understand Hindi language. So I would like to request your team to go through both the mixed language. It would be better. Yeah.
Okay, no issue, no issue, no issue.
Thank you, Mr. Tamu. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
So, Nakulji, can you give me sharing rights also in the meantime?
Okay, so you don't have, very good.
So we are doing this exercise with Mr. Purve. I think we are in touch with each other for last 1 month. We are talking with each other, and I am Tanushree Verma. I am representing Zone 4 Solution as a training head. So we are in the process of developing or revisiting your disaster management plan, and we got some basic information of one industry, which is Everest industry located at Odisha, Balasore. So that we are taking as one of the case, and we tried. We also got the disaster management plan of that particular industry, and as mentioned by Nakul sir, that already a lot of work has been done at ground level. But while we were going through the plan, we got to understand that there is some, overlapping in safety management and overall disaster management. Those two are two different concepts. Safety, hello. I think if anybody's mic is on, kindly mute that so that we can have a fruitful discussion.
अच्छा, आपको राइट मिल गया, पहले आप चेक कर लीजिए. Did you get the right to present?
Just a minute, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good.
So before discussing the disaster management plan, I think some basic understanding of safety management and disaster management is needed. So now Nakulji requested me to organize one activity-based session. So before going for any activity-based session, some basic understanding on safety management and disaster management is needed. Since you are running or you are part of major accidental hazard unit, which we talk, that is a term we use in disaster management for any industry. So it is the responsibility of the industry owner or the incident commander who is at industry locally placed there to do the safety management plan. So safety management is basics to any industry, and they should follow the basic of safety management for the product, for the all the hazard or hazardous product they are producing, because we have seen, as Nakulji has also discussed, that majority of the industrial hazard are not natural. Natural hazard are largely those, as you all know, that which are caused by nature, like cyclone. If it is Odisha, then cyclone could be one, cyclonic flood could be one. If it is located in Delhi, then it could be earthquake, which might lead to some impact on the industry. So during the timeline, we have noticed that industrial hazard are largely the man-made error, which may happen due to accident during processing, manufacturing, storage, transport, or disposal of the product. Or largely industrial hazard could be, due to the safety issues, could be leak of any hazardous material or any hazardous gases, fire, or explosion. These are the largely industrial hazard which we could notice while our research during this period, which might happen at any industry. So now that is one. But when we talk about the disaster management plan, so there are two components of disaster management plan, as Nakulji has also discussed, that one is the on-site plan. On-site plan is important because with that plan, you will be able to manage the level 1 emergency, which can be managed inside with the support of your own staff who are already got trained under the safety management process. But there is one other concept is off-site plan, which is very important whenever there is a hazard of level 3, which is beyond the control of your existing resources and human resources or safety measures which you have adopted in this industry. Sometimes the hazard go beyond our control, as sir has also mentioned that COVID happened and that is beyond our management. Somehow we tried to manage the COVID scenario. Then we came up with some measures of preventive controlling measures, basically with lockdown and all. Then with the vaccination, we tried to adapt to the situation, but still the hazard is there. But we are now adapted to the scenario. The things are getting open and we got vaccinated. Everybody is getting vaccinated. So our adaptation process enhanced, and we are now immune to the to respond to, or we are immune. We are not getting affected with those kind of virus or largely. So it's now from pandemic, it is getting converted into endemic. So similarly is the case for the any kind of hazard, any hazard which is happening in the industry or at community level. So impact could be like, it depends upon the timing and the place where it is happening and the scale of hazard. If it is a very high scale of level 3, then impact could be the surrounding environment also. Flora, fauna, the community in the surrounding area could also get impacted. So it depends that what kind of hazard, what is the level of hazard. And since largely it is accidental, so we cannot actually, we can certainly take precautions that this accident should not happen. But if it is happened, sometimes it is completely beyond our control. So after going through the plan, we realized that that we should have both off-site and on-site plan. So when we saw the plan, we found that it is largely, I'm taking example of Somnath, Balasur, Everest industry. That is one case I have got. So we found that it is largely an on-site plan where you are equipped enough to manage any small scale disaster of level 1 at your level. So when we talk about the larger, something larger happened, something beyond your control happened, then what would be the incident command system of the to manage that? What would be the response process to manage that? So those sections, I think, was largely missing from the plan, and I feel that in the process of discussing, and we will be able to refine it to that level. So there is one small presentation I have prepared with this background. I feel that it will help you. Shall I make it full screen or just a minute?
I think it would be better if you make it full screen.
So, just doing.
So can you go through the slideshow? Tanushree, can you go through the slideshow? It would be, yeah, now it's better.
Yeah. So there are largely 5 P's when we talk about industrial safety or industrial disaster management. So proper planning and preparation prevent poor performance. So we need to improve our performance. We should reach to that level that we are able to bounce back to any kind of hazard. We are able to create that level of resilience in ourselves that we are able to bounce back effectively to any such kind of hazard. So when I was going through the hazard profile provided to me of Everest industry, it is from your document itself, sir. We found that some of the hazard could be like major fire or leakage related to LPG gas or small fire. Then snake bite is there, honeybee bite. And cyclonic effect you have also added. It is one of the natural disaster oil spillage. Then with the kind of product which we are using in industry, that also lead to some or other kind of health hazard. That also we should not ignore. So in this case, I feel it is leading to some kind of breathing or lungs related health hazard. That should also get considered in our plan. Apart from that, I have seen, since we are dealing with the COVID-19 and there must be some guidelines from above authority to include COVID-19 or make your plan COVID-19 adapting the norms of COVID-19. So I could see that at various places COVID-19 was mentioned. But I feel that we should have a separate section for managing any such kind of health hazard. Just like mentioning COVID-19 preparation and all would not help us. So a separate section of that would certainly enhance our preparedness. We are talking about enhancing the preparedness. So as Nakul sir has discussed that there are 3 types of emergency for, from national to state level, but at your level also, at industry level also, we divide the emergency into 3 levels. Which is level 1, 2, 3. 1 is you are able to manage with your own resources. 2 is loss is not much, but and you need external support, but sometimes you are able to manage, but you alert outside agencies. And 3rd is you certainly need is support of district disaster management authority. Now here I want to mention that with each district disaster management authority, this plan is not in silo. You cannot just make your plan and keep with yourself. Each district disaster management authority have district crisis management committee. And all the industry, when I was working with district disaster management authority, all the industries were registered there and they had to organize their 6 monthly mock drills and all. They have to develop their plan as per the guidelines of the district disaster management authority. So it is it's not a standalone document. It is a connecting document with the district disaster management authority, which should be made under district crisis management committee. So I think we will be able to help you in coordinating with the district disaster management authority and how this plan will be developed in line to the guidelines of the NDMA or DDMA. So before developing any plan, as sir has also mentioned, I'll just run through this slide, that we need to identify our hazard. Hazard is not just a few. You need to have, rapidly and rapid visual screening of every minute detail of the building, of the surrounding area within the 1 kilometer, if it is close to any river bed or any sea side. So all those screening has to be done in the vicinity of 1 kilometer also, for hazard identification and risk identification. If a community is deciding, then it is enhancing your risk, because we have seen that we enhance our vulnerability due to lack of preparedness, lack of knowledge, illiterate population who are not able to understand the impact of disaster, and they are not able to respond. Like we have seen last year in Visakhapatnam also, they were not aware of what to do in this kind of leakage if some poisonous gas is leaking. So that community we consider as a risk only because they are not aware. So minute hazard identification is to be done surrounding area, and then inside the area, what are the chemical hazard and natural hazard. So hazard identification is will be done in 3-4 categories, and then some of the other hazard could be like if you are located in some prime location, then it could be war rights or something like those. And now what these hazard will impact, what are those areas where they are going to impact. So those are those will help you to do your risk analysis and risk assessment, and impact in surrounding community, impact in environment, surrounding environment. So all those measures are to be considered while developing our DM plan. So I just these are the sections of any DM plan which we develop for industrial safety. So emergency preparedness and measures could be like training. Disaster management plan is in itself emergency preparedness process, and within that plan could be training, and mutual aid could be like if any support you are getting from in terms of finance and other resources also, man-made like human support also, trained people also. And then offsite on-site drill emergency scenario could be the part of emergency preparedness measures. Then mitigation measures could be like resource mobilization, action to be taken in various scenarios. So we will just do 2 scenario and we'll take your responses. How what is the level of preparedness of that I mean at your level. So we'll just discuss those scenario also. Then zoning and maps. Within the industry, you have to do micro-zonation, like which area is more vulnerable. Those areas where manufacturing is going on, so those are more vulnerable. Admin block would be less vulnerable. So this here you need to decide. You will, I mean, be able to tell us that which section is more vulnerable. So it's a two-way process. External expert support certainly will be provided by some of the agency who is who are doing, but internal I mean processes under the guidance of external agency has to be provided, or information has to be given by you. So detailed layout and flow diagram will be developed, and as discussed by Nakulji, I have seen the evacuation map also of that plan. Self-glow map, which we are promoting in every school, every colleges, and industry are more hazarded in terms of school and college, because if there is fire or explosion, so evacuation map should be self-glow, and everybody should have the understanding to, I mean, follow that evacuation map. We have seen many evacuation map which people who are residing in that particular campus are not able to understand. So those maps are of no use. So evacuation maps would be self-glow. In case of fire, you are able to, I mean, that is visible, and you are able to access your safe evacuation route. Plus, there is a understanding among the people or the occupant of that particular building that what this evacuation map is telling us, where to evacuate, where to assemble. It should not remain confined to the person who is developing, who are involved in developing the DM plan. So all the information should go down the line to each worker, because most of the time we have seen, I have personally seen that the laborers, the workers are the one who get affected by any hazard. So, and similarly, the manpower details are to be developed. And in the end, resources and controlling any emergency would be the fire protection system. This is needed for the offsite plan. These details are somewhere mentioned in the document. Nearest fire station, police station, communication facility, and evacuation and sheltering. If nearby some shelter or also need to be identified in terms like some school building, which can be used for when after search and rescue, you can keep the injured people. So those are needed to be included in that plan. So when we talk about any offsite plan, what are the, sorry. Offsite plan is including all the emergency support functionaries. We have 12 emergency support functionaries in District Disaster Management Authority, and offsite plan include details of all 12 emergency support functionaries. And so it will be largely used in the scenario when it is level 3. You need to coordinate with the District Disaster Management Authority. You need to inform them. You need to seek support from them in terms of search and rescue, fire safety, law and order. So there are many emergency support functionaries which support during the process of any disaster management, post-disaster management. So assistant from the outside agency, district magistrate, police, fire, in the case of Delhi, it's MCD, so municipal body also. So there are a list of 12 agencies. Assistant required from other authorities, from hospital, transport. So we need buses from the transport department if it is affecting to the community, nearby community, and those has to be evacuated. So offsite plans are developed in coordination with the District Disaster Management Authority and should be in sync with the District Disaster Management Authority. So with this, I feel, Nakulji, can we give them the scenario for the discussion? Nakulji?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So Umeshji, we tried to develop 2 small scenario, and I will I will request everybody to kindly just raise your hand and give us the what could be the response process, just to understand your thought process on the response mechanism which you have developed at your level. So one scenario is the major fire broke out leading to toxic smoke in combustible material of admin block. So it could impact could be like the occupant are having a breathing problem due to fire and smoke. They are not able to evacuate in proper way, and there's complete darkness. So what would be the immediate action will be taken by the incident commander or the various team you have mentioned in the disaster management plan? So Umeshji, you also can support in the process of discussion. It's a 2-way process. We need to understand your level of understanding also if we want to go ahead. Yes, Umeshji. All the participants can raise their hand and respond on this scenario. If any understanding is there.
Yes. Someone has raised hand. Please, you unmute yourself and speak.
So no, just the session is over now, or question answer session is just started?
No. Session is not over, sir.
Okay.
2 small scenario we have developed. We will discuss this scenario with you people. We will try to test your understanding also on the scenario, and then we will further discuss, sir.
Sure.
On mock drill. So if there is any understanding, if there is a fire in your industry and there is some leakage of toxic material or toxic gases, and people are having breathing problem, the occupant are having deep breathing problem, they are not able to evacuate in proper way, there is complete darkness, this is scenario. So how would you going to respond? So Mr. Jina has raised his hand. Yes.
Actually, ma'am, what to do if it is required or if it is possible to switch on the lights, because in case of fire, normally it happens you switch off, isolate the power if required, if there is a chance of electrical fire due to this normal fire. So if it is possible, then switch on the lights. And if it is not possible, then we can take the battery operated lights, portable lights with oxygen cylinders, that kava apparatus. And by the help of the evacuation team, we can use that apparatus and evacuate the people who are stuck inside this fire hazard. This can be a way for evacuation.
Anybody else want to respond on this? On this scenario, which is based on the screen?
Yes, I can just give us a few focus on these issues. Thank you, Madhav. You had raised a valid question. So in that time, in chemical industries, if any chemical just leakage and any fire occurs, that time the full power is going to be cut off as a blackout of power. In that time, they are having some flame-proof light, flame-proof emergency light they can use for evacuation, because battery operated, again it is the cause of risk of to produce the spark. So in that time, flame-proof light is sufficient to just for evacuation and illumination purpose.
Sir, what would be the in somewhere in document I have seen that there is an incident command system which will get activated and communication system will start. So what are those methods, sir? I wanted to understand if such kind of scenario will happen.
Actually, this is the initial stage. If there is this type of disaster or emergency situation, then there will be a evacuation plan or immediate evacuation will be announced by the emergency controller, that everyone should be come out to a safe place, that is emergency evacuation point. But in this scenario, already people are stuck due to smoke, and they are not able to come out from that place because of darkness and fumes. So if we communicate through mics also, the people definitely will not come out because of their situation, they are stuck. So this will not help. If they are stuck, then physically we have to do some arrangement or open the door if they are stuck by some manual or portable lights. People should go with cover device and they should open the accessible door where they are stuck, so that they can come out through that door. Otherwise, if there is no any door, no any possibility, then with this light, portable lights, the team can guide the stuck people to come out with the help of these cover devices.
Some more people should participate, please.
Apart from Mr. Jaina or Umesh sir, some more people like to give their feedback if they are aware of the disaster management plan being developed by the industry.
Speak.
Because it's a normal one-to-one process, sir, and casual process of discussion.
It's not coming out TV.
So we just now want to know your understanding. So more people can. Some Mr. R.K. Arora want to speak, sir.
First of all, in any emergency case, we have to give a siren emergency or by the security people. If it's not possible to say on the mic or without a clear an emergency, and the team of the equation will be come out and help to the others.
So immediately some emergency siren or alarm will get, yes. And then people who are tasked to do the evacuation process, some team must have been identified and trained for, they will get activated for rescue and response process.
Yes.
Anybody else want to respond on this? Yeah, A. Chauhan, I could not read the name. A. Chauhan 1, sir, आप बताएं. A. Chauhan, you have registered by this name, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Sir.
Ma'am, if there is very smoky environment in the admin building, then we will have to command the peoples who are in the admin building to stay or to crawl on the floor.
Correct.
Because
Very good.
because in the case of smoke
Hmm.
just stay approx 1 to 1.5 foot above the ground,
Very good, sir. Sir.
and then we will have to follow the whole means emergency procedures. And in simultaneously we'll have to look after that is there any LPG cylinder or any flammable item stored, so we'll have to remove this also, and we'll have to call for the help.
And many equipments are mentioned, sir, in your document, like PPE equipment, personal protective equipment and all. So those will not be used during this kind of hazard when there is a gaseous environment all around. Sir?
All the PPEs will be used, but first of all we will have to do all this on the emergency basis, as the removal of hazardous material or removal of flammable material. Then we can use breathing apparatus set in that scenario where the smoke environment is there. Breathing apparatus set.
Sir, and what could be the other, like, see, each has something important to say, so we are coming with some good ideas. So whosoever feel that something is missing in this discussion can add to the discussion. Nitin Tiwari sir has yeah, he wanted to say something. Nitin Tiwari ji.
Parallelly, we should try to extinguish the fire by the help of fire hydrant, a sprinkler, those type of things we should use.
Any other idea from the group? In another 2 minutes. Any other idea want to share? I could see Kapil.
Yes, ma'am. We can use wet cloth on our mouth who is stuck in that fire, because wet cloth is helpful for us during the fire. And otherwise, self-breathing apparatus we should use, and that time. And source of the fire also we should remove. These are the basic things we can follow during the evacuation.
Any other idea from the group? Okay, so Nakul sir, would you like to conclude this scenario, and whatever feedback the group has given, what could be the process of responding in case of fire hazard in the industry?
Obviously, people who have spoken very well, everyone say their point, but you think it's a disaster, it's a disaster. So and it's mentioned in the document there is a fire and toxic gas in combustion. So everyone forget to mention they should call 101 or 1077, because assisting agency must be called, right? You must save yourself. Please invoke your disaster management plan for what that has been made. So please inform your district disaster management authority, inform your fire people. If you find let's help, because disaster, you can't manage disaster alone. So involve as many as stakeholders are available. Invoke your disaster management plan, right? So I think in this session अभी इतना ही करना है, तो और इसके बाद शायद टी ब्रेक भी है क्या? उमेश जी will take care. Umesh ji,
we can go ahead without break, No issue.
Very good.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. So as Nakul sir has mentioned that communication is an important part of any disaster scenario. So in case of fire or any such kind of hazardous material, if leaking from the manufacturing section or some other section, so first important part is to activate the communication system, which is very much in your plan. So communication system is to be activated simultaneously, as somebody has mentioned that there are a team of people who should start responding to, who are trained in the various response process. I hope those people are trained, those teams are trained to respond to disaster. So simultaneously, you have to start putting your own resource and services, which is available on site. Till the external support is coming. But communication, as sir has mentioned, is very important. Inside internal communication in terms of alarm, alerting the people to start evacuation and activating your internal support system, plus external communication to district disaster management authority, because in case of fire, we cannot take risk. We should not, try to extinguish if it is going to out of our control. So we have to assess. So and that scenario, I think somebody's mic is on. In that scenario, you are the incident commander, and you have to decide that if it is a level 1 emergency, level 2 emergency, level 3 emergency, and if so, their presence of mind is certainly very important. So before anything you are going to do, first initiate the communication process, and that is what we practice in the mock drill also. So detailed, since we have got just 2 hours, so we are just touching. There's a detailed way of incident command chain. We can have detailed discussion on incident command chain also. So all those safety processes, like if it is a fire, we should call, and during the evacuation process, we should cover operator, use cover operator, or flame-proof light, as mentioned. So those are specific to each and every safety management process, and we should adopt that. So detailed chain of incident command system we will discuss later, but my slide is not going down. What happened? Yes. So yeah, this is second scenario. Since one of the industries is located in seaside and vulnerable to adverse impact of cyclone and cyclonic flood, it is located at Balasore. And due to cyclone, whole area of that particular industry got inundated. So what would be the immediate action? We will discuss for 3 minutes, not more than that. Any response is 320. Largely, we have people from Odisha side and southern side who are vulnerable to cyclonic hazard, cyclonic flood. So if those kind of, like cyclone Hudhud happened in Andhra or Filene, so during those time, what would be the response process?
If actually cyclone happened and people are there inside the factory, so to safeguard them, first we have to take all the people under the concrete roof, because there should not be like some temporary roof, because our plant also having this GI sheet roof. So this is vulnerable because of cyclone, that can be go out and people will be under the cyclone, direct cyclone. So they should be evacuated to a concrete roof place so that they will be safe first. Then if required, then we should call the disaster management outside DMRC, disaster management response team from outside, from government body, like a draft team. We can call them or inform them for any type of help. And if it impacts maybe 1 or 2 days, so fooding arrangement, supply of food and other things should be reached to people who are stuck in the cyclone. Then before cyclone, we have to take preparation, because normally this type these days that forecasting is done by the government and the forecasting bodies. So we should take adequate preventive actions, preparations to to protect the things by tying off all the materials, by shutting down the doors from which the air can be enter inside the factory or buildings. So some preventive actions we should do before the cyclone, and like fooding arrangement, other things we have to make before the cyclone, because large number of people will stuck inside the factory maybe for 2-3 days. So for that we have to keep the material, that fooding item ready, then water also, because drinking type of sanitization water we need at that time. So we have to prepare for that. The lighting, if cyclone comes, then lighting goes, it is completely dark out. So we have to prepare for DG set, that HSD and other things should be ready at least for 2-3 days or 4-5 days stock to run the DG set for lighting purpose. So this type of things normally we do during.
Any other response from anybody else? Jana sir is only, responding largely.
Obviously, more people should speak, please. Speak up, please.
So, as Jana sir has said rightly, that cyclone is such kind of hazard which give you time. So you have early warning system in place by the government, which provide you all the information that when is going to be the landfall. So basic precaution in terms preventive measures in terms of like relocating the material or those kind of things can be done before the onset of disaster. Because since it give you time, you have a 24-hour early warning, or before that also 48-hour early, a very accurate early warning system in place are there through IMD. And Odisha is one such a state where Odisha State Disaster Management Authority is very promptly working for mitigating the impact of various disaster, and they are, they have such a level of preparedness that loss of life they are able to control completely for various cyclones. But certainly there is impact on the properties, and those can be mitigated when we take proper preventive measures before the onset of the disaster or before the onset of the cyclone. So some of the basic do's and don'ts you have to follow in view of the cyclonic hazard. Similarly, for all the industry, this is one case we have taken that it is located in Odisha. For all the industry, we have to foresee, as I have mentioned earlier also, various natural and man-made hazard inside and outside within the vicinity of 1 to 5 kilometers, which could affect the normal functioning of that particular industry. So with this, I think now I want to discuss if in this scenario, in scenario 1, if we want to do some mock drill, so what will be the procedure of mock drill? This is scenario 1, there is a fire. Because mock drills we organize on the basis of scenario. If mock drills are getting organized in your industrial setup?
Yes.
Yes, no? So largely it is getting organized. So what exactly you do in mock drill? Champak ji, aap hi bataएं, आपने on करके yes
कहा. Yeah, so definitely. So yeah, for this scenario based number 1, I would like to say for the mock drill, if I put the fire in the admin block, and basically the admin team are working in the office blocks. So at that time, the fire lamp system will be activated. If there is some smoke, whenever someone will see some kind of smoke, then they will immediately alert the security team and safety team, HR team, or else nearby they will see some fire alarm system there. They'll press the things, and after and we do have a smoke detection system, right? So it will automatically extinguish the fire if there is some fire. So अगर किसी को मतलब देखा कि अगर लेफ्ट साइड वाले डोर आ रहा है, तो दे विल राइट वाले साइड वाले डोर से बाहर जाएंगे. और जैसे कि आपके तो सर ने कहा था कि अगर स्मोक ज्यादा है, अगर आपको उसी डोर से जाना है तो आपको थोड़ा झुक के चलना होगा, बिकॉज थोड़े लॉन्ग टाइम के सर्वाइव के लिए आपको।
सो जब मॉक ड्रिल करते हैं और जैसे इवैक्यूएट करा आपने, जब आप मॉक ड्रिल कर रहे हैं तो उसका क्या प्रोसेस होता है? वंस देयर इज, सी दिस सिनेरियो इज देयर, आपका फायर अलार्म बजा कि एक अलार्म बज गया है, अभी मॉक ड्रिल में भी अलार्म बजता होगा कि देयर इज अ फायर,
जी
आप
जी
इमेजिनरी सिनेरियो इमेजिन
जी
करते
जी।
हैं कि इस ब्लॉक में है, उस ब्लॉक में फायर है, या तो उसके बाद क्या, आफ्टर वंस द इवैक्यूएशन इज डन, व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस?
After evacuation is done, we will count the person कि कितने आदमी अंदर काम कर रहे थे और कितने बाहर हैं. If someone is stuck in the like, अगर एडमिन ब्लॉक के अंदर if there is 15 people are working, अगर बाहर only आए 14, तो one person को ढूंढने के लिए कोई भी एक मतलब एक्सपर्ट फायर फाइटर जाएगा, अपने स्कार्फ पहन के अंदर जाएगा, वो देख के आएगा कि भाई कहाँ पे वो बंदा फंसा हुआ है, हो सके तो वो साथ में साथ उसको लेकर आ जाएगा सेफली।
So Mr. S. Sunil also wanted to say something. S. Sunil.
Another thing, I would like to say something, ma'am.
जी,
In the case of counting, and we have also checked the condition of the peoples. If they feel some injury or some problem, then we have to shift that person to the hospital or near first aid things.
So normally we check 3-4 things. First thing is this is created scenario. So somewhere we can create a small fire and switch on the FCP, that alarm system, so that we'll see what is the response time of the security team. It takes how much time to reach that place. This is the first check. If they reach that place in pre-desired time, what is 8 seconds or maybe 1 minute or something like this. So after that, they should inform the incident controller, this fire has happened, we need for evacuation. Then the incident controller announces for evacuation. That system is working or not, that evacuation system, that mic, everything is working or not, that is checked in this mock drill. So if it is working, then it's fine. Not working, then we have to take a note for correction. Then evacuation being done. After evacuation, then we'll count that head count. The head count, there is a check also. Head count, normally we face a problem ki some people is outside going on a temporary leave, on launch, and how we will manage this situation. So that is a checkpoint, how we will head count. And third thing, we call outside people like ambulance or outside agency, fire brigade. So they are responding or not. Sometimes their phone number, old phone number is there and we are calling in that number and they are not responding. So how many time also they are taking to reach the factory. Then ambulance, our ambulance is ready or not. If we call the person, then that ambulance driver is ready or not. He is reaching within pre-desired time to the location. So if it is coming, then it's okay. Another thing, fire extinguisher. So we normally run some 1 or 2 fire extinguisher in that point. So if someone operates it, so does he know the operating of fire extinguisher or not? Because the first person who saw that fire, so he is supposed to operate that fire extinguisher. If he is able to operate that fire extinguisher or not. If he is not, then there is a lacuna. We have to train all the people to know how to run fire extinguisher. Each and every person should know that running the fire extinguisher. So these are the number checks.
So why do we conduct mock drill? Why do we conduct mock drill in any, sir, except Jina sir.
Awareness among the employees, workmen, how active they are.
Awareness
among the workers, employees, how
among the workers. Okay. Anybody else?
अगर कुछ होता है तो वो कितने टाइम में आ रहा है,
how we are prepared for the fire, how we are prepared for the emergency situations.
Correct.
For that purpose, we are doing the mock drills.
And or else? Anybody else? Why we are conducting mock drill? Regular mock drill might be happening in your कि भाई एक दिन अलार्म बज गया चलो सब evacuation करें, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. Why we are conducting mock drill? So some responses which came up is awareness among the workers. It is basically to aware the worker that what safety precautions you should take and prepare for fire. We should prepare. Some Mr. Vijayanandra Babu sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
sir.
I want to add one more thing here. See, one is the knowledge theory, but actually how you react when actual situation is there. And second one, how the coordinated effort happens, and especially once mock drill is done, what are the lacuna in that, how well it is coordinated, or what were the things missing. That brainstorming and understanding the entire scenario, that will be very useful in improving ourselves. See, converting the theory knowledge to practical application and understanding what are the lapses and where we could have improved, analyzing ourselves and getting ready for the betterment. So that is the crux of the matter.
Anything else? Why we are doing mock drill? Thank you, Babu sir. Anybody else? Okay, so we now move ahead. When we are discussing the fact that why we are conducting the mock drill. So one thing which Mr. Jinnah has said that sometimes resource inventory are old. So we need to, it came out that we need to regularly update our resource inventory. जो आपके plan में resource inventory में जो annexure लगे हुए हैं with a lot of numbers, at least once in a year it should get updated so that you can have accurate number of all the emergency support functionalities available with you, which can support at the time of disaster. So that is one. Then one was the awareness among the worker. It certainly helped worker to understand the safety measures to be taken during any disaster scenario. Prepare for the fire. It enhance our preparedness level. So this is one. And then Sir Virender Babu sir has said that one is knowledge. You have the knowledge that this is important, and this is provide the practical coordinated effort, how coordination could help you to mitigate the impact of any disaster. So it provide you the opportunity to brainstorm that whether you have prepared yourself up to the level or you need to improve in this area. There is some coordination gap, some communication gap. So it will enhance your preparedness, and you will get to know your lacuna, your system lacuna also through regular mock drill. But this mock drill are not part of our disaster management plan? Any response? Yes, sir. Ramesh Reddy, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it part of the disaster management plan, this mock drill?
Yes, ma'am. This is part.
Sir. Anybody else want to respond that if it is part of the disaster management plan?
Yes, madam.
हाँ जी.
हाँ मैम, ये डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट का प्लान है.
हाँ, पार्ट है. तो जब हम मॉक ड्रिल की बात करते हैं, when we are talking about mock drill, first I think I should go to some of the slide that how we conduct a mock drill. Then we'll discuss finally on disaster management plan. This we have to discuss in the end. So when we talk about mock drill, we do a basic tabletop exercise. This is the process I am just sharing with you. Generally, not about you, but many people just do the evacuation and counting. That is what mock drill is, the basic understanding in larger community. But how to do it in a proper manner, as Nakul sir has also discussed, that there should be a tabletop top exercise before conducting the actual mock drill practically at ground level, so that people are able to understand the situation, and there is a stress-free environment also while conducting the mock drill. Tabletop exercise actually help us to design an operational plan. As somebody has said, that knowledge and theories are there, but how to convert that knowledge into the practical process. So Here, during the tabletop exercise, we discuss our operational plan, the theoretical part, the problem in the problem solving process, where we discuss our incident command chain, various teams, जैसे कि बताया किसी ने कि फायर सेफ्टी टीम एक्टिवेट हो जाएगी, पर ये भी बोला उन्होंने कि उनको अगर फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर चलाना आता होगा तो सो ये कंडीशन नहीं होना चाहिए। फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर मुझे भी चलाना आता है और हर किसी को, स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर occupant of such a hazardous unit, you should learn, each and every occupant should learn how to run a fire extinguisher. So there is designated team for should be a designated team for fire safety, first aid, search and rescue, warning dissemination, and there are 7 types of team and 7 different type of trainings also for each team. So वो होना चाहिए before mock drill. And tabletop exercise is essentially a group brainstorming session. जैसा कि पहले रमेश सर ने बताया कि एक brainstorming करता है कि क्या problem है, क्या solution होना चाहिए, तो हर एक member present करते हैं और discuss करते हैं. So before mock drill we should have a tabletop exercise. So procedure क्या होगा, ये सारा आपने अभी डिस्कस कर लिया. I'll just run through the slide. That any person discovering fire, heat, smoke shall immediately report to the condition to the head of the incident management system of the industry or in the incident command system. Fire and emergency drill shall be conducted in accordance with the fire safety plan. आपके अपना एक fire safety plan बना होगा. At least once in every 3 months. हर एक 3 महीने में एक बार करना है, पर according to the plan. All the occupant of the buildings that participate in the fire and emergency drill, written record of such drill. आपको एक रिकॉर्ड भी तैयार करनी चाहिए कि आपने कितनी बार फायर सेफ्टी ड्रिल कराया है. ये आप लोग करते ही होंगे, ये नॉर्मल कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन है. अलार्म बजना है, फिर उसके बाद मेन पावर कट ऑफ होगा, फायर ब्रिगेड को कॉल करना है, इवैक्यूएशन करना है, एक असेंबली पॉइंट होगी, रोल कॉल होगा, और अटैकिंग द फायर इफ यू आर एबल टू एक्चुअली एक्सटिंग्विश. अगर आपको ऐसा फील होता है, यू शुड नॉट प्ले विद द फायर. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आप अपनी जान बचा के भी उसको मतलब फायर को एक्सटिंग्विश कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज फायर जो फैल रहा है उसका रेट जो है बहुत हाई रहता है, बहुत जल्दी, लाइक विद इन 48 सेकेंड वो पूरे इंडस्ट्री को इन्गल्फ कर सकता है इफ हैजार्डियस मटेरियल आर अवेलेबल, ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल. सो फर्स्ट वी शुड हमें एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा कि डू वी हैव दैट कैपेसिटी. अगर नहीं है तो सबको छोड़ के हमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ इवैक्यूएशन पे ही ध्यान देना है. वी शुड नॉट प्ले विद फायर, वी शुड कॉल फायर ब्रिगेड. सो जैसा कि पहले भी बताया कि ये जो मॉक ड्रिल होता है, इट विल टेस्ट योर इंस्टॉलेशन एंड द इक्विपमेंट. So during the drill, the real performance of all the available firefighting installation, hose drill है या आपका fire extinguisher है, emergency lighting है, जितने भी आपने लिखे हैं अपने डॉक्यूमेंट में, कई सारे सेफ्टी मैनेजमेंट रिलेटेड इक्विपमेंट है जो आपके यहाँ इंस्टॉल्ड है, वो एक चेक करने का अपॉर्चुनिटी रहता है. It is the responsibility of building management to rectify the deficiency of image. ये अगर इनमें से कोई काम नहीं कर रहा है तो आप उसको रेक्टिफाई कर सकते. तो ये तो हो गया कि मॉक ड्रिल करने के. सो मॉक ड्रिल इज इंपॉर्टेंट प्लान ऑफ डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान, ऐसा आपने कहा है. सो जब हम डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान बना रहे हैं तो ये मॉक ड्रिल जो होता है, इट विल वेरीफाई. अभी जब आपका ये होगा मॉक ड्रिल तो आप रियलाइज करेंगे कि ये 5-6 टीम नहीं है हमारे पास, या फिर हमारा जो इवैक्यूएशन मैप बना वो करेक्ट नहीं बना हुआ. So ultimately we are coming back, it's a cycle, we are coming back to the disaster management plan. So what I want to emphasize here, that a full pro disaster management plan, operational disaster management plan, not only a document which is kept in one side of our admin block, operational disaster management plan which should get activated at the time of disaster is the need of hour. And mock drill is the opportunity to check your disaster management plan, whether it has been made as per the requirement of your industry or not, because it is your life and you have to, develop all the safety measures, all the management measures to save your life. So this is what I wanted to say here. Nakulji, you want to add something? We are already 3:42.
I think you explained very well, Tanushree. and participants participated very much. That's very good, and this shows the already put in effort by the industry, or all goes to Mr. Chaudhary and Umesh ji. It means they have worked a lot in safety and security. Just I want to highlight two things. See, when Tanushree was asking what to do in this case, so then there is a chaos, right? Why this chaos was? Because we didn't have a disaster management plan, weighted disaster management plan by a qualified disaster manager. So what we are doing in responses, everyone saying, I will do this, I will do this. See, disaster is a very big incidence where I can do nothing except to invite our team, task force, external agency, and start the evacuation process, right? So disaster is a bigger thing. So let's go for a disaster management plan by a qualified disaster manager. Idea is, let take them his responsibility, because if he will sign that document, he will own the responsibility. I made this, right? And you check this through mock drill. So this cycle will start, and that's why this process is known as disaster risk reduction. You got my point? That's why this is known as disaster risk reduction. In every cycle, you will reduce the risk little bit. When you did, whenever you did your first mock drill, I am sure you have taken near about to 6 minutes, 10 minutes. Most of industry take this time, right? But as per the evacuation map, as per your disaster management plan, trained team and task force, you will able to reduce this response time, evacuation time, near about to 3 minutes. You got my point? The biggest industry, the biggest building can be evacuated in 3 minutes. Even a 9th floor building can be evacuated in 3 minutes. If you know the process, because it's a technical process. If you taking time 10 minutes or 20 minutes in head counting, then there is no use of that counting, because whoever left inside in the smoke, you will not find alive after 20 minutes. You got my point? So we should practice this method. We evacuate the building and stand as a designated point. So whatever point is vacant, we can identify, oh, Tanushree is missing. You got my point? So it's a predefined process. I will stand here and this will be the line. So, and counting is basically, in this case, there are so many counting processes in evacuation drill, but till the date, back tap counting is the best identified method. There is no need to count, just tap at your back, and I say 1, you say 2, and this will take hardly 30 to 40 seconds, and you can count lots of numbers. You got my point? So these are the best method. You have to practice. अच्छा, मैं यहाँ एक चीज और कहता हूँ आपको. You go every industry and you will ask, did you conduct mock drill? Yes, sir, we conducted. Do you have a disaster management plan? No, sir. Then point is, now we concluded this session as we reach to a level where we can say, without a weighted disaster management plan, if you are practicing to evacuate a building, there are more than 80% chance that you are doing a wrong practice, right? Because you have not standardized your practice yet. So first have a disaster management plan, weighted disaster management plan, and practice that plan. Then it will help you in case of emergency. So I think this is this was my last to this session, Tanushree.
Sir, can we now open the session for question and answer for another 10 minutes we have?
Yeah, obviously. So let people ask. Please invite everyone.
Sir, anybody has any question related to the session can raise their hand. And I think we have performed so well that everybody has got all the understanding and clarity. There is no question.
Ma'am, my question is, who is the responsible for making a disaster management plan?
Sir, you like to answer this question? Who is
See,
responsible to make a disaster management plan?
Yeah, see, a responsibility goes to Director of Industry. He will initiate the process because as per Disaster Management Act, he is accountable to have a disaster management plan in his industry. So obviously, director don't involve themselves in these things. So he delegate to their officers, and disaster management plan must be made through a qualified disaster manager, and he required to sign that document with his reference number. That will be the process, and that is the required to the best practice to have a disaster management plan, right? I think I have replied your question. Next question, please.
Just one doubt, actually, regarding off-site emergency plan. So we prepare normally on-site emergency plan, and we think that off-site emergency plan is with the local administration or disaster management team. So is it, my understanding is right, or we have to collect from them? If you ask them where is disaster management plan, off-site plan, so they don't normally respond. They say that it is there online, or it is with us. It will not be supplied to you. What is your requirement? If something happens, you just call us. If it is beyond control, then we'll see that. So why you are bothered about our emergency plan? That is offsite plan. Is this my understanding is right, or anything there?
तो सर आप बता रहे हैं कुछ, सर नकुल सर?
बता दें आप करने का.
हाँ सर. So, Jana sir, offsite emergency plan are part of your own disaster management plan. There is one section should be there on offsite emergency management plan, and there you need some technical support from disaster management expert, because you could develop your internal. That's what I initiated the session with the safety management and disaster management. You can develop your safety management plan, which is very much part of on-site disaster management plan. For offsite disaster management plan, you certainly need some expert support from the outside, because it should be part of your disaster management plan. There should be one chapter on offsite disaster management plan. A DDMA will not provide you offsite disaster management plan. That you have to develop in consultation with the disaster management expert, because offsite is basically 1 kilometer or 5 kilometer vicinity to your own setup where you are located. So within that vicinity, one offsite plan will be developed, where we try to develop the resource inventory, the hazard. So initial part of the my discussion, I discussed about the various hazard to be observed within the vicinity of 1 kilometer in case of the industrial setup, because largely when there is an industrial disaster, it affects the nearby community also. So offsite plan you have to develop. DDMA will not develop that plan. And in case expertise is needed.
Even Tanushree, even Mr. Jena, even if you don't develop your on-site disaster management plan, DDMA will not push you hard. They issue one letter once in a 3 year, 4 year, or and they forget, because they don't want to involve themselves. And the fact is, at every DDMA, they have only 2 officers. And for me, there are 2 officers, and even they are not from my side, they are not qualified disaster manager. So it's a government procedure. So Tanushree said, well, it's your life, it's your industry, right? So you have to step up. You have to initiate a development of disaster management plan and submit them. When you, as soon as you will submit, it means you are involving them also in your disaster management plan. Otherwise, in case of disaster, they will show you that letter. Whatever that letter must be written 3 year, 4 year back, and they will show, I have written you this letter, and this letter include all on-site, off-site, everything, and you didn't respond us, so it's your responsibility. This is the this is the government working wage. So better you take initiative and have your own disaster management plan and
both
implement
off-site,
it.
on-site, yes, sir.
Yes, obviously. When I am saying disaster management plan, it means all response, everything. You got my point?
Yeah, Tarun and just Tanushree, you had just enlightened good points, but what I would like to share, the on-site emergency plan and off-site emergency are totally different scenario. The off-site emergency plan is totally lies on shoulder of the district administration, but they are going to consider all the hazards associated with this in their premises, in their districts, in their area. So off-site, we can also collect the copy of the nearby district magistrate, where our on-site emergency plan can be a part of that off-site. So you are telling that in premises of 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, we should consider the hazards. In that way, we should work. But what I would like to share that for offsite emergency plan, every district, each district has their own offsite plan. Whatever it is not being circulated to all, and all people are not much more concerned with that offsite plan. So, but all district administration, district authority, like district magistrate are having this plan. We can contact with them to collect that data from there, and we can be the part of that. Our on-site plan can be the part of one off-site plan. So,
Bagesh Rohan ji, अपने आप को mute करें, please.
So, just Madhav, you can contact to Bagesh, please. Bagesh, please mute. Mr. Bagesh, please mute.
हाँ सर, बताएं.
I would like to request to Madhav Jaina, who is our plant head, and just I would like to request him to collect the data from their local district administration. They must have the off-site emergency plan, where we can put our input that our on-site emergency plan is one of the part, and our input can play a major role in the district off-site plan. So what I feel, I shared.
बिल्कुल जी, आपको कुछ बोलना है इस पे? मुझे ऐसा लगता है, देखिए ऑफसाइट प्लान जो है सर्टेनली डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का काम है, ये मैं समझती हूँ, बट see, they are overloaded with so many things, they will not respond or respond. So it's better to have at least the hazard risk analysis of done for your neighboring area and develop one chapter, because that chapter is missing from the disaster management plan submitted to us, which I overviewed. It's better to have, and that then get it cross verified that whether we have developed it properly or not, because they are the one, district disaster management authority are the one who will actually approve your plan. So it will, it will certainly add to the existing content of your document. Currently, it is not part of your document, and with some basic, data gathering or some basic work, you will be able to develop the document as per the label of requirement of District Disaster Management Authority and can get vetted from them.
Tanushree, Mr. Umesh and you, I think both on same page, but difference is what he said. He said district disaster management plan, right? Obviously, district disaster management plan will be made by the DDMA only.
Correct.
But see, he is right. And one line, he also said that is also good. What we will submit will be part of their plan. That is also a very good point. Idea is, Umesh ji, you are right. DDMA should, even as per mandate, DDMA should make your on-site disaster management plan also. But fact ये है कि आज तक, even आज तक के डेट में, no disaster management plan either on-site or off-site for any industry DDMA has made, right? So this is the fact. Obviously, ideal condition is.
No, sir. What I would like to say that because there are multiple industries जिनके पास फंड होता है CSR का, लाइक रिलायंस जामनगर, उनकी सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी में इतने फंड है कि वो नियर बाई सराउंडिंग के लिए, सराउंडिंग एनवायरनमेंट और कम्युनिटी के लिए उन्होंने ऑफ साइट डेवलप कर रखा है. लेकिन एज पर गवर्नमेंट लॉ, जब भी हम DMP बनाते हैं, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान, तो सबसे पहले मैनेजमेंट पूछता है व्हाट इज द स्टैट्यूटरी नॉर्म्स एंड स्टैट्यूटरी रूल्स एंड लॉ. तो डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान ऑन साइट तो हो गया हमारे फैक्ट्री का, जो मुझे बनाना है, मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है अपने एम्प्लॉय को बताना है. साइड बाय साइड नियर बाय कम्युनिटी को भी अपने हैजार्ड्स के बारे में बताना है कि ये मेरा हैजार्ड्स है. बट एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में अगर 50 इंडस्ट्रीज है और डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ हैजार्ड है, कहीं केमिकल हैजार्ड है, कहीं पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हैजार्ड है, कहीं पे फ्लड है, कहीं पे कुछ भी है, तो सारे फैक्ट्री के जो प्लान्स होते हैं उसका डाटा लेके, इनपुट लेके डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एक अपना प्लान बनाता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड ऑफ साइट इमरजेंसी प्लान. तो ऑफ साइट इमरजेंसी प्लान का हम लोग एक पार्ट बन सकते हैं. बट कोई क्लॉज और कोई लॉ ये नहीं बोल रहा है कि आप अपने सराउंडिंग के लिए ऑफ साइट बनाइए. ऑफ साइट इज टोटली पार्ट ऑफ,
कोई क्लॉज नहीं बोलता. दैट्स आई एम सेइंग कि तनुश्री और आप दोनों सेम ही बात बोल रहे हैं, वो भी यही कह रही है. शी इज सेइंग कि आइडियली आपको एक चैप्टर बना करके ऑफ साइट का साथ में देना चाहिए. इट विल हेल्प एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड यू आल्सो. शी इज सेइंग लाइक दिस वन, राइट?
But there is one clause as per the MOEF guideline, Ministry of Environment and Forest guideline, and MSICH rule 1989. As per that rule, हमारे पास जो हैजार्ड्स है, उस हैजार्ड से जो सराउंडिंग एनवायरनमेंट और कम्युनिटी पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है, we must share with the local community. हमें लोकल कम्युनिटी को पता कर रखना है कि अगर मेरे यहाँ कोई टॉक्सिक रिलीज हुई, क्या केमिकल फायर हो गया या कुछ भी हो गया, तो आप क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ सकता है, ये इतना कम्युनिकेशन करके रखना है. बट प्लान के बारे में कहीं कोई क्लॉज नहीं है. तो ये जो आप बता रहे थे कि आप अपना प्लान 1-1.5 किलोमीटर के रेंज में डेवलप कर सकते हैं, तो दैट इज आवर प्रिविलेज, नॉट एज पर लॉ.
सर देखिए,
that's why I told you both are talking same thing.
सर एक सेकंड नकुल सर, एक सेकंड सर. उमेश सर देखिए, जो आप मेजर एक्सीडेंटल हजार्ड यूनिट का प्लान की बात कर रहे हैं, आप किसी भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान को उठा के देखेंगे, उसमें वो मेजर एक्सीडेंटल हजार्ड यूनिट का एक छोटा सा सेक्शन एडेड है. कोई भी DDMP आप उठाएंगे, दे डू कवर इंडस्ट्रियल हजार्ड, बट दे आर कवरिंग इट एज at a district level. They cannot do planning for each and every school. Similarly, they cannot do planning for each and every industry. So this step of adding one chapter and developing offsite plan will not only help you to complete your disaster management plan process, would also safeguard the occupant inside the industry and the people or community who are living in vicinity of your industry. So this is what, there is no, किसी भी चीज के लिए कोई binding नहीं है, but this will certainly help you to enhance your preparedness level. That is what my submission is.
Great, thank you. Any question from any people, any participants? This is a good session and experts are available, so you can get the clarity, more clarity from experts. You all are requested to raise your hand and ask the question.
Just one question. is there any specific time of revision of disaster management plan, as in safety? If any incident, we are preparing risk assessment or some SOPs, and if any accident occurred or any changes required in operation, we reassess our SOPs and risk assessment. So there is any specific time to revision of disaster management plan?
Sir? Nakul sir?
Okay. To update your disaster management plan every year. Idea is you require to revise or update your disaster management plan every year, but you can do this within year also. Why? As you said, in case of any, let's say you did a mock drill, you did an exercise, or something happened in your industry and you found that your plan was not operational, right? Or something was missing, there was a gap in coordination, then you can update your disaster management plan within while in year also. But as per mandate, you require to update your disaster management plan every year, right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any more question, please? Let's ask here.
हेलो
या प्लीज
सर, मेरा एक सवाल है। जो अगर कोई मतलब फायर या फिर आग लगने की समस्या जो होती है, तो उसमें एक पॉइंट आता है कि इवैक्यूएट नहीं कर पाए हम बंदों को या फिर जो भी वहाँ काम कर रहे हैं। तो जो भी इंडस्ट्री सेटअप होती है या फिर कोई भी चीज एक सेटअप होती है, तो उसके लिए तो सर एक प्रॉपर डिजाइन और उनका मैप एक सबमिट किया जाता होगा तो उस इंडस्ट्री को सेटअप करने से पहले। तो ऐसा क्यों होता है कि इवैक्यूएशन का उसमें मतलब प्रॉब्लम होता है फिर जब फायर होता है या फिर और कोई सिचुएशन ऐसा स्मोक का क्रिएट होता है?
समझ गया। आप यही कह रहे हैं कि जिस समय कंसेंट लिया गया होगा एस्टेब्लिशमेंट का, उस समय उसका मैप का अप्रूवल हुआ होगा, राइट?
जी 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 जी
और
सर।
जब सब कुछ अप्रूव हुआ था, जब पता था कितना दूर सेफ डिस्टेंस है, 30 मीटर पे एग्जिट होना चाहिए, कितने एग्जिट है, सब कुछ अप्रूव्ड है, फायर का एनओसी है, फायर ऑडिट हो रहा है, तो फिर भी हमारे लोग इवैक्यूएट क्यों नहीं कर पाते? आप यही कहना चाह रहे हैं?
जी सर जी।
देखिए,
मेरा सवाल
ये बात बिल्कुल सही है कि एज पर स्टैंडर्ड जब आप कंसेंट लेने के लिए जाते हैं या बिल्डिंग को ऑक्युपाई करने के लिए जाते हैं, तो उस समय बिल्कुल सब कुछ सही होता है। ये जो लोग आपके यहाँ भी लोग होंगे, और मैं आप सबको कहता हूं कि बिल्कुल वही स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो करना चाहिए। लेकिन होता ये है कि जब आप ऑपरेशन में आ जाते हैं और कुछ सालों के बाद आपने देखा होगा कि जैसे एक बड़ा सा आपका शेड है और उससे अगर एग्जिट के 4 गेट हैं, तो फ्यूचर में हम क्या करते हैं, एक बंद कर देते हैं और उधर क्या कर लेते हैं, हम लोग कुछ चीजों को पाइल अप करके रख देते हैं। तो आप क्या करते, आप ही जो है वो एग्जिट को बंद करते हैं, राइट? क्योंकि डिजाइन में जिसने 4 गेट बनाया था वो कोई बेवकूफ आदमी नहीं था, वो एज पर स्टैंडर्ड बनाया था। बट व्हाट यू डिड फॉर द सिक्योरिटी पर्पस कि नहीं यार, ये 4 गेट को मैन को चेक करना बहुत ही मुश्किल है, तो हम 3 गेट बंद कर देते हैं। तो व्हाट यू डिड कि वो जो 30 मीटर का डिस्टेंस था उसको बढ़ा करके आपने 90 मीटर बना दिया। पहला पॉइंट तो ये है। दूसरा, आप कहीं भी जाओ, आप देखना, आप खुद भी चेक करना, और आफ्टर दिस सेशन आप अपना किसी होटल में जाओ, किसी ऑफिस में जाओ, आप देखना एग्जिट जो है अलमीरा एग्जिट पे, राइट? तो टेबल चेयर एग्जिट पे, 2 आदमी सिक्योरिटी गार्ड का टेबल चेयर एग्जिट पे। सो दिस हिंडर्ड योर इवैक्यूएशन, और इसकी वजह से ये हुआ। तीसरा कि चाहे कितना बढ़िया भी मैप आपने उस दिन सबमिट किया हो, अगर आप उसे प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे अपने डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान का, इट विल बी वेरी हैवी ऑन योर लाइफ। अगर आप इसे प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे एज पर रूल, साल में आपको 4 मॉक ड्रिल करना, यू रिक्वायर्ड टू डू 4 मॉक ड्रिल एट लीस्ट, राइट? अदरवाइज यू कैन डू एवरी मंथ, लेकिन 4 तो कम से कम आपको करना ही चाहिए और उसका रिकॉर्ड रखना चाहिए। ठीक है फणीश्वरनाथ जी?
हाँ सर, जैसे शुरू में हम लोगों ने बोला था, एक रैपिड विजुअल स्क्रीनिंग बहुत जरूरी है। कई बार होता यह है कि प्लान तो हम लोग बना लेते हैं और इवैक्यूएशन प्लान भी बने हुए, मैप्स भी बने हुए हैं, बट दोज इवैक्यूएशन रूट वी ब्लॉक्ड ऑन आवर ओन। जैसे सर बता रहे, लाइक just last Friday we have visited one industry and we conducted a mock drill, fire mock drill and training for fire first aid. We found that the second evacuation route which is supposed to be used as an emergency evacuation, उस पे ताला लगा हुआ था, उसकी चाबी कहीं और थी। तो ये जो छोटे छोटे प्रिकॉशंस हम नहीं लेते हैं, आई हैव पर्सनली सीन एट पीरागढ़ी इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया इन दिल्ली 10 laborers burnt in front of me, क्योंकि वो लोग इवैक्यूएशन करने के लिए फायर टेंडर्स में नहीं आ पाए, कोई वॉलंटियर सपोर्ट नहीं मुझे मिल पा रहा था, वो मेरे सामने जल रहे थे अलाइव, क्योंकि वो लॉक्ड था। तो ओनर ने बाहर से लॉक कर दिया था उसको और वो लोग अंदर काम कर रहे थे। तो ये जो छोटे छोटे प्रिकॉशंस नहीं लेते, इन स्पाइट ऑफ मेकिंग इवैक्यूएशन प्लान, फुल प्रूफ इवैक्यूएशन प्लान, वी ब्लॉक आवर इवैक्यूएशन रूट ऑन आवर ओन। तो एक बार जब आप पूरे इंडस्ट्री का रैपिड विजुअल स्क्रीनिंग करेंगे विद द लेंस ऑफ डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, चश्मा बदल करके, इसमें डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट का चश्मा डाल के डालेंगे कि पूरे इंडस्ट्री का एक बार रैपिड विजुअल स्क्रीनिंग हुआ, देन यू विल एबल टू रियलाइज दैट कौन कौन सा रूट ब्लॉक है, कहाँ पे हमें खोलना है, कहाँ पे, तभी वो फुल प्रूफ इवैक्यूएशन प्लान बन सकता है। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
या मिस्टर मेहदी हैज रेज्ड हिज हैंड, चौहान हैज रेज्ड हिज हैंड।
Want to know that what could be the best
Mehdi?
What could be the best communicate mode with the local authorities in case of cyclone, as most of the tower or network resources get damaged in the volcanoes, the cyclones.
I didn't get, sir. Can you repeat please?
हाँ, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ मैम कि मैक्सिमम कंडीशन में जब साइक्लोन वगैरह आते हैं तो जो ये अपने नेटवर्क टावर्स हैं ये डैमेज हो जाते हैं, तो व्हाट कुड बी द बेस्ट पॉसिबल कम्युनिकेशन मोड विद द लोकल गवर्नमेंट इन दिस सिनेरियो?
अर्ली वार्निंग का कम्युनिकेशन का क्या सिस्टम होगा नकुल जी? आप रिस्पॉन्ड करना चाहते हैं इन केस ऑफ साइक्लोन?
he is not asking about, I think, early warning. He is asking about
communication.
How to communicate.
Communication.
Yeah, how to see, Mr. Chauhan, in the case of cyclone, when your all tower or all telephone line collapse, radio is the only method which will survive for the communication, right? So that's why it is suggested in disaster management plan also, you should have a ham radio at your EOC, and similarly a district disaster management authority in EOC, they also have radio, right? So radio is the only method which will survive in case about what you are talking. Otherwise satellite phone is very costly, and no district disaster management authority has a satellite phone, right?
सर, जो वॉकी टॉकी के नेटवर्क होते हैं वो भी डैमेज हो जाते हैं क्या इंटरनली?
किसके?
सर वॉकी टॉकी के।
नहीं समझा, क्या पूछा आपने?
वॉकी टॉकी नेटवर्क विल आल्सो कोलैप्स ड्यूरिंग द
यस, उसका भी नेटवर्क कोलैप्स हो जाता है, क्योंकि वॉकी टॉकी वाला भी जो है वो आपका नेटवर्क जो है वो लिमिटेड होता है ना, उसका रेंज जो है वो ये है कि 100 मीटर में चलेगा, 1500 मीटर में चलेगा, बट योर डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी इज नियरली 25 किलोमीटर अवे। द एवरेज डिस्टेंस इज, जो एवरेज डिस्टेंस है इंडिया में, डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिसास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी का EOC का ऑफिस इज सिचुएटेड एट 27 किलोमीटर।
Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Mehdi, your question, please. Or I think he's Muhammad Mehdi, please.
My question was same. I got my answer, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
very
sir,
good.
I think, shall we conclude now? Shall we invite Avdesh sir to conclude the session or give observation? Any other question is there? Because it's already
If any question, please ask, or we are inviting our observer.
Sir.
Sir, I have one question.
Sir.
Please.
Sir, within industry, is PA system is compulsory to install public
Right.
address system? Is it compulsory to install within industry or not?
See, a public addressing system, it's not mentioned anywhere. It's compulsory, but as per usage, as per usage, and as per it's became norm to have a PA system in every industry, even big and compound, everywhere. But there is no act for this, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, any question, please?
Sir,
So
my
let's
last
invite
question is that
Abdesh.
sir,
पूछ रहे हैं हाँ चौहान जी हाँ ये लास्ट क्वेश्चन हो गया दिस इज लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर
yes, can we have some good stuff to read for awareness purpose?
Of course, we will forward you. We will forward you.
There are many we can forward.
If anyone has any other question, please send it to me and I'll forward it to the team.
Sure, that would be good.
Yeah,
sir.
please send it to me. Thank you.
So, Abdesh ji.
Yes, sir.
Now your turn has come. As an observer, please your comment on training. How you found our trainee and our trainers? So please, you comment on that.
Okay, sir. Am I audible?
Very much.
Oh, so this time for providing my views about how I observed this whole exercise, whole session. So first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Avdesh Kumar. I am an assistant professor of Department of Civil Engineering with University University Bareilly at Uttar Pradesh, and I am associated with the industries and various disaster management projects, and also very active in the field of disaster resilience in my region. And here I am also in my university. I am nodal officer for Indian University, the Indian University Institution for Disaster Risk Reduction, with NIDM, National Institute of Disaster Management. Let's come here with the topic of with today's discussion. So first of all, I would like to congratulate Zone for Solution and Everest, all the team, because they have initiated very good effort in achieving a resilience in industries. Usually this is a much talked but less act area. And here I would like to raise first in his first delivery in his first presentation, Nakul Sarun sir. He started with discussing various basic aspects one by one. And he discussed many industrial disasters concept and he quoted the examples from the previous disasters. But let's take a pause here and recall some past experiences. So safety as far as concerned, so about the safety, it is a very popular quotation I would like to quote here on this occasion because this is very fruitful. So safety is considered as, it is not an intellectual exercise basically. It is not an intellectual exercise to keep us in work. It is a matter of life and death. It is the sum of our contribution to safety management and determine whether the people we work with live or die. Also, this was the famous line from Sir Brian Appleton, and all the people who are associated with the industrial safety or industrial safety engineering. So they know about the Piper Alpha disaster. It happened in 1988 about 168 people lost their life. And as Nakul Tarun sir in his session also explained about what happened in the Bhopal gas case, what happened in different occasion where industrial safety become an issue and take the life of many. So as in today we discuss about various aspects why it is important. So what I observe, there are some good and some the area that are challenges before us. So first thing that was good, I will discuss that portion that I feel good. The participation was very good. Participation of the participant were very good during the session, like Zena Saab and R.K. Arora ji, Vijayendra Babu ji, and then we also see Ramesh Reddy ji. They have asked very good questions and contributed efficiently and in the discussion. And I was very surprised with the knowledge of Umesh sir, and this was really a great thing to hear him. And Nakul sir, the chancellor of our university, his name is also Dr. Umesh Gautam, so I was also connected with him. So the discussion he made about especially the manufacturing, storage, and import of hazardous chemical MSHC rules 1989, very relevant. This must be known to everyone because after 1984, when we discuss any event, any incidents, whatever it's the event or incident, whatever we can say. So when we study history, so we will have the World War II or World War I. So you will see all the innovations before World War, before, after World War. So similarly in disaster management also, there are certain lines from where the things got drastically changed. And Bhopal case 1984 was that incident. And 1986 Environment Protection Act, when it was introduced in India. And this MSIHC rules 1989 were introduced. And then we also witnessed the chemical accidents, emergency planning, preparedness, responses. So whatever we are discussed, they have already mentioned in there, but are they implementable in not? I also found one thing that I would like to share with all of you, that gender inclusion must be there in all these type of discussions. Maybe I think I received no question or no discussion from women or I don't know whether they are there or not. But if these type of evacuation we are sitting here to plan, so we also have to understand that the special needs of women, the special needs of disabled peoples, they may be there. So this should be included in the discussion. What are the specific provision for them? Or maybe if in any organization, if we are dealing as a whole, in a holistic approach, this should be the included. So in this session, I found this thing slightly absent. So it should be there, I think, in my opinion, as an observer. Second, next thing, when we discuss about the hazardous chemical covered based on, so as I experienced when the question session was on, so lots of questions were about the various type of discussions about the disaster management plan, emergency plan. So in MSIHS rule, we already know that in 1989, that is chemical identified at toxicity, flammability, explosiveness basis, whatever the cases. So we have to adopt the appropriate measures in the site. It is obvious one. So this should be there. And already in section 13.1, that is about this specific rule. So an occupier shall prepare and keep up to date on-site emergency plan containing details, containing the details of all these aspects, like whatever we are discussing here specified in the schedule 11 of that. And major accident will be dealt, how major accident will be dealt at the site, on which industrial safety is carried on. Already all the industries have their different needs, different requirements. On the basis of that should be also already the part of that. So when I received the invitation as an observer from Zone for Solutions, so I was very happy actually, because I have seen this at the implementation level, because I have read a lot of article. One of the participants was asking that we need the reading materials. Yeah, that is available enough on the internet. But this is the time when it is started at 2 and right now it is 4:30 around. So this is the time when we experience how it is going to implementation. So this thing should be very important here discussed. I would like to appreciate both organizations for this initiative and both the organizations leads. And Tanushree ma'am presented a slide where the hazard profile of the organization was probably discussed as per my understanding. So they have included a snake bite, honey bee bite, and monkey bite. Initially, these things were not the part of disasters. You know that the people who understand Hindi, a monkey is wandering on your society, it may be no danger for you. But if that monkey bite anyone and in panic, he got jumped from any 2 or 3 story buildings, and this may be a disaster. So even Uttar Pradesh government has declared a compensation of 4 lakh for the snake bite. So this is very good. It shows that this is an updated organization that is working continuously on the new type of hazard that may be possible in any organization. So it's also a commendable, a good initiative. I would like to appreciate it as an observer. And here some suggestions are there, that is access to healthcare. When disaster happened, we cannot zero disaster. We all know that. कितना भी बड़ा कोई कितना भी बड़ा ज्ञानी क्यों ना हो, होता ही है, और कुछ ना कुछ होना हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, क्योंकि कई सारी चीजें अनप्रेसिडेंटेड हो जाती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, we have launched in 2009 National Disaster Management Plan, but in 2020 we all know that we sit in our home and interacted in this way on the video conferencing manner, like that. COVID-19 was unprecedented. Tsunami was unprecedented one. And this situation is equally possible in any industry. That is why we should also have this preparation for the unprecedented crisis as well. So access to the healthcare, this must be there, and development of safety culture. जब कोई कहता है कि डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान को एक्टिवेट किया जाएगा, तो थोड़ा सा ऑड लगता है कि एक्टिवेट क्यों करना, ये अपने आप एक्टिवेट क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. Why we need a button for activating this. So we should go for the automation purposes, so that human intellect is there. It is respectable, but we should go for the more and more automation in this area as a responsible industry, and disaster management future way forward is going toward that. S&T innovation is also the part of Prime Minister 10-point agenda as well, and industry should also follow this. So passive safety measures, industry should be interactive with the local people. Just Nakul Sarun sir raised a very good point. I quoted an example from the 1984. The number of people who died inside the plant, the number of people who died outside the plant was much more than that. So this may be exactly possible in any type of industry, and depending on its nature and whatever the service it is delivering to the society or the market. Precautionary drills, okay, for as we hear the Umesh sir. So he was saying that precautionary many organizations have the CSR, big CSR budgets, and it should be implemented on all levels. So this type of precautionary drill must be there, that the part of that. And it was a great moment to know that the organization is already working on that. It should be more effective. It should be more interactive with the organizations, employees, personals, and plant inspection is also the part of this all exercises, so all the plans. So if we are not inspecting, so whatever the plan we have created, it may be the best at 1st November 2021, but it is not the guarantee that it is going to be updated and implementable and right after the 365 days or to 200 days apart. So this should be inspected proper, things to be inspected properly, updated properly. This should be the part of that. A question was also raised by the participant that in how many time we should update it as per the NDMA Act, if I remember correctly, at NDMA Act 2005, it is annually basically, but as per the requirement, if some unprecedented crisis there, we can update it in between as well. And fixed accountability should be there. Every person must know what is its what is its area of act, how is going to act. कभी कभी आग को बुझाने से अच्छा उसको रोकना होता है, कि कब बुझाना है कब रोकना है, इसको डिसाइड करना बहुत जरूरी है. कि कभी कभी पता चल रहा है कि हम उसको जो स्टार्टिंग लेवल पे जिन लोगों ने उसको बुझाना स्टार्ट किया, they depleted all the resources available there, and when the specialized people reach on the site, who can control that disaster or that fire. So all the resources got depleted at the site, so they should not be there. They should be taken care by everyone. So we should everyone have to understand, especially the people with concern with the safety, about the basics of fire triangle. So let the fuel world, if it is not if it is not in your favor, so कभी हो सकता है कभी रोकना ज्यादा फायदेमंद हो जाए, बुझाने में सारे रिसोर्सेज बर्बाद कर देने से। कब या क्या करने हैं, तो इसके लिए एक ट्रेनिंग, एक इस तरीके की एक इनिशिएटिव को लेना बहुत ही ज्यादा जरूरी है। एंड लास्ट, दैट वाज द कम्युनिकेशन फर्स्ट ESF. I think more than 2 or 3 questions were about the communication. At least 2 were there, if I remember correctly, during the session. So yeah, it is very important. And as per the 2005 high-powered committee set at I think the national level, so they have designated emergency communication at the first emergency support functionary. There are certain emergency for support functionary. In many countries, you will find the difference of the order, but in India, it's communication is considered the first emergency support functionary. If you cannot communicate well, so it is communication disruption or communication disaster can be considered as a key for opening the Pandora box of the disasters. Multi-hazard scenario may generate at that place if the communication disrupts. So every organization, in every point, I believe that this should be taken care at high importance, because it's a high level priority for emergency support function as well. In that point of view, it is also in the streamline of that. And after this interactive discussion, it is this it was very pleasant to know that from the organization that is working in this in producing the services to society. So many places, many organizations, there is a culture that safety is very expensive. I am happy that both the organizations are sitting here and discussing the disaster management plan in, I think this is the 4th level meeting. And so it is not a basic disaster management type of things that are discussing here, but they are discussing how to improvise the existing one. So lots of work has already been done by the expert of the industry. And now a professional disaster management organization is going to improve the existing and identify the loopholes and develop a great plan for the organization that may save loss of everyone. So whenever any organization say this safety is expensive, so basically it's a priceless. And I am very happy that the Everest industry understand this value of how it is priceless. So this is all about my observations. And I think whatever the good thing I have observed here and discussed here during this observation, my deliberation, and whatever the loophole like the women inclusion and other disability inclusion, so these things should be also incorporated in the plan in future. So with this word, I would like to sum up here that we not to be a PhD in safety or PhD in disaster management. Everyone cannot. There are many people.
Avdeshji,
but here are the just 3 words: ABC. Always be careful. This is the final message from my side. And thank you so much. If Tanushi ma'am, you want to add something more, to please.
Actually, why add karna tha? Like you have talked about
please, sure.
Important point, inclusive approach to disaster risk reduction, and we have conducted one pre-training assessment also before organizing this program. And there was a set of questionnaire where we have mentioned about number of women disabled. So I
feel actually I was discussing today's observation, so I not found that's why.
Thank you.
Okay.
So just like to bring to the notice of the larger participant and you that one assessment was done, and there is no women staff, I feel, and the disabled people in the otherwise they could have planned that. So just
okay. Oh, if it is there though, so that we can skip that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Okay. But I observe, I discuss, and thank you.
Thank you. That is nice. Observations should be always there.
Actually, I would like, hello everyone. Actually, I would like to add some points. Like Avdesh sir has said some points. So जैसे कि उमेश सर ने भी कुछ कहा, आपने भी कुछ कहा नकुल सर, तो जस्ट टू clarify everyone, so as per MSIC rule 1989, rule number 13 and 14 mentioned for about the offsite and onsite emergency plan, कौन बनाएगा, कैसे बनाएगा और उसमें क्या क्या होना चाहिए.
Okay, so you okay. So you were add on these things to this current.
Yeah, actually yeah, MSIC
Okay.
1989 में ये totally mention है as per the legal norms कि कौन ऑक्यूपायर को क्या बनाएगा, अथॉरिटी क्या बनाएगा और as per क्या बेसिस पे.
इससे बात हो गई ऑलरेडी, और हम लोग अब एक मिनट देखिए, इससे बात हो गई.
Nakul sir, I would like to quote the exact thing. That exact thing is section 13(1), and it said that shall the duty of the concerned authority of the identify, that is the column 2 is associated with that, and so schedule 5. So prepare the keep up to date adequate off-site emergency point. Right? I think this is thing you are discussing this.
Yes. This is a exact like. Let's
point,
conclude.
this contains the details. Yeah.
One thing I would like to request that now there is a time constraint, so we
it's 4:30.
That's what, like, we should conclude now.
Yeah, because earlier it was 123 participants, right now 72. So that's interest should be taken. This is very sensitive point and a very sensitive session. So now just we are going to conclude. The question answer session is going on. Everyone has the right to send the question to Mahajuti and me also, so that we can send the zone for solution to get the good reply as expert reply. So now I'd like to conclude the sessions. So I would like to thank all the team members of Zone 4 Solution like Tanushree and Nakul and Engineer Avdesh. All are very much knowledgeable and expert guy, having sharing their knowledge and experience with us. So it was a really very interacting session. And one thing we had taken very positive, just addressed by Mr. Avdesh about physical challenge people. Nobody has asked the question about the people physical challenge, how we can evacuate them. So definitely we'll take care, and the women involvement is also there. So now, and also I would like to thank my team, safety team and Mahadati HR team and all the participants who had spared their valuable time from responsibility of the plants. They had spared the valuable time to participate in this session. So really it's a wonderful and amazing session. And I would like to request to Mr. Tarun and Tanushree and Avdesh, always enlighten us about and always update us about any rules, regulation, any hazard, disaster happens in India and abroad. Always enlighten us. So thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, definitely.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you,
everybody. Thank you.
Bye bye. Take care. Have a safe Diwali. Happy Diwali. Bye bye.
Same to you, sir. Same to you. Same to all.